Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the show today. Really happy to have you here, Bugbear's basement. Unfortunately, we had a week last week where I couldn't get back, but one of the problems we have here in Japan, and it irritates the hell out of me, is the unprofessionalism of the Japanese. And you saying what? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, well, it's true though.
Okay.
Well, no, it's just in America, you would never have your boss or the boss of something do an impromptu meeting. They might have a rush meeting and they'll call the schedule and try to do it as soon as possible, but they're not going to say everyone in the office now. It doesn't work like that. It's unprofessional. Here in Japan, when you get these buchos, because one of the problems with Japan is the fact that you must acquiesce to the elder, right?
hmm
And therefore, when someone becomes an elder or a bucho, which means kind of an executive boss, when they become the boss, they want to be treated that way, right? It's a problem. It's an issue in this culture. And unfortunately, this day, which is my Wednesday, is my government day, right? Because I am a freelancer, a subcontractor, but in the morning and in the evening, I do government stuff, right? So when I go in the morning, usually it's just to show my face and then leave as quickly as possible. There's no need for me to be there really. It's just, kind
Yeah.
of professionalism. And then every now and then you get a boss like, "Oh, I have a meeting," and it's totally innocuous. By the way, it's not like it was an important. There was emergency. If there was an emergency, okay, fine. I understand. But it's just to talk about some dumb shit. But I have to be there because my face is in the room. You see,
It's,
you understand my frustration?
yeah.
Yeah.
I can grasp the concept.
Yeah, whatever. It just irritates me. It's just so unprofessional. It's not how things are done. If you want a meeting, you schedule it, right? Right.
I would assume that
Yeah.
seems like the
Right.
proper way to do it.
It's right. It is the proper way. But nevertheless, it doesn't matter. We're not here to discuss about that, but I do apologize. But I hopefully by now, after years and years and years of doing this, 5 years, I think, that you all understand my schedule can suck. But we're here. So let's get into it. Now, let me do a real quick synopsis of what we were doing. So first of all, let me go ahead and share this with these guys so they can see what I'm doing. Here we go. All righty. All right, there we go. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Now, of course, we're dealing with a new setting here. We're using Cortex Prime. I'm actually really starting to get into it. One of the things, Cypher, I enjoyed too. I thought Cypher was a nice simplification, but also had depth. But we saw some problems pretty quickly, didn't we, GOP?
A
Uh,
few.
there's a few,
There were
but
a
you
few.
can homebrew them. You can fix it. We did. But Cortex, I haven't seen any gaps yet, and I think it's because it's just a simple universal system to apply, you know, statistics to things. It doesn't really separate it. This is not a superhero game or a fantasy game. It's just it wasn't built that way. I think that makes it a little bit unique, huh? Um,
hmm
but I like it so far. We'll see how it goes. But from my on my side, creating characters for them to interact with. Oh, it's got awful easy. I like it. That's a good thing. Also, we need to bring up our. Let me go ahead and get on that. We have to bring up our dice thing, right? Where
Yep. I've got that going.
did I put
If
that?
it's still in play. Why is it showing that there's 6 players now? It's weird.
Let's see, DD dice. Actually, I'm seeing a lot more than that. I'm seeing a whole bunch of players, but it doesn't matter. And why am I hearing my voice?
I don't know.
I'm
Oh,
hearing
it's
your
coming through.
voice,
Lady. Lady.
lady.
I
Huh,
thought I only had one.
what?
Hang on.
No, it's been fixed now. So, It
Yeah,
has been fixed now. But alrighty. So no, I'm still hearing it.
a little
YouTube
bit.
is muted.
Okay. Is there something
Let me
on
take
this
a
side?
Discord is not.
Does this
How
have a
about
mic
Discord?
feature? Something's going on here. Hold on, let me see here.
Oh yeah, I just got a new set of wireless headphones. Let me take them to another room. They're on a charger, not headphones, earphones.
Yeah,
Sounded like you just threw them.
it's not
um,
necessarily their fault though. Don't blame them. Uh,
yeah,
I don't know. Let's let me just throw this over here real quick. Hopefully we'll figure that. I'm not hearing it now, so I don't know. Something's changed, but yeah, it is neat that it kind of keeps our stuff, but it keeps adding. It doesn't
How's
even.
that?
Let me hear you.
Is that better?
I got some artifacts going on. Yeah, I'm for some reason I'm hearing echo through you, lady.
Okay.
Maybe your Discord is also on.
it sounded like
Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to
as it
hear you because
was, but
I have YouTube off, or maybe I just should take YouTube completely off
Maybe.
because I already said hi.
But
How
now it
about that
sounds
now?
fine though. But whatever.
Okay, yeah.
Let's not
I closed
let's
this.
not
I,
get
I
bogged down
closed this
here.
YouTube.
All right.
Sorry.
So that's no problem. Okay,
we're good.
everything's working just fine. But it's got me as player 7 now for some reason.
Oh, I haven't
It,
got to that page yet.
it's showing you as well. So you're not like controlling it as the DM, or because I'm seeing
Maybe
player
that's
seven
the
on.
problem. Maybe I'm not signed in or whatever. It doesn't really matter. We can, you know,
Player seven, game master, tower.
yeah, the game master isn't
You know,
here, but it doesn't matter. I probably just need to join or something. I'll go take a look at it after the show. But what am I doing here? Let me get myself reorganized here and not get too out of control. Alrighty, yeah. But
I'm so
this
tired.
is super handy though. I do love this thing. But anyway, what was I doing? Oh yeah. This is what I was doing. So
Somebody's telling Celtic where the DDD dice. Is that what you said?
yeah, DD dice. It's very handy. I like it.
hmm
But I'll go take a look at it, and I'll get it all set up. But anyway, we're using Cortex Rhine, which I'm enjoying. We are playing the campaign setting I've built here is called Umbral, and this setting is very, very simple. Since magic has always existed, it's not a new thing. It's a from the beginning of time thing, and humanity has had its ups and downs with it, of course, because everything about magic is human based. There are no aliens. There might be, but they would look very much like us. There are no demons or monsters or anything. Everything is human. So when you die, you either ascend into the Ador or you fall into the veil, right? And those who are in the veil, life is very without input. There's no color, there's no taste. It's almost maddening. It takes quite a will to be able to survive there. Therefore, they're desperate to feel again. And this is where the demons come from in reality. Because if they can possess a human and pass back through the veil and possess a human body, they can feel again. Often, unfortunately, a lot of them will kind of go crazy. And this is where you get all these kind of weird police reports from. But there are organizations who handle it more sophisticated. But this is an issue. And although it's not technically illegal, although this is a point that's been argued back and forth for a very long time, this organization, which in America is currently being called Dove, is a very ancient organization. And your job is simply to uh, police the magical world. Because of a war that happened long ago, there are many treaties been put up, and magic is kind of kept on the back burner. It's not 100% required that it's perfectly secret, but that's kind of how it worked out. right? For various reasons. But you guys are basically the FBI for magical stuff. So if someone is doing harm or potentially doing harm, you go and check it out, and you have to, uh, uh, you know, collect your evidence, and then some board of inquiry will make a decision on that. So you're just FBI. You're cops. You're magic cops, is what you are. So it's pretty simple. These guys have gone through a decade of training. They're set up at the Dove Boston office, Department of Umbral Verification and Enforcement. Dove. I know, all you grammar Nazis out there who are just like me. I get it, but it's kind of cool. Give me a little bit of half cool. Half cool.
I call it Duve.
I am not a Nazi.
Thank you. Yeah, but it's okay though, GFP. I'm allowed a little bit of creative license, aren't I?
You are,
Yes.
but I'll still call it Duve.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Nevertheless, these guys are working for in Boston. They've gone through 10 years of training. They had a little bit of a hard upbringing how they ended up getting in it, because there was a cultist group that literally was trying to sacrifice them to rise Apollyon from the veil. Wow, that sucks. It's a hard start. But their first mission, and I'm sure it has not gone unnoticed by our players, is potentially similar situation to how you guys were born into the magical world, abyssal transfer, right? Which I had mentioned before. But there are some other people around them that they are kind of their immediate superiors. We have Mission Control Lady, which is Lady Ninma, and something weird about her, without question. Of course, the Antoine Burquest is in charge of the office. He's the boss, but she's Mission Control, and I don't know. There's something really weird about her. But we also have RQ, or a magical librarian, in charge of the Sanctorum, Dr. O'Hare, one of the best pictures ever drawn in the history of pictures, I'd say. That is so awesome. This is definitely a professor of some kind, right?
Yeah.
Yep,
There's nothing else
in a
he could be.
magical setting.
In a
Yeah.
magical setting. It's rather perfect. And there's not many other things that the guys have interacted with very much. There are a couple of other outside things that they have seen, but the only one that they probably all know is Madeline Chen, who runs the Old Tail, which is literally downstairs in this building. They're in a big brownstone factory, and the agency's all set on the upper floors. But on the first floor, they rented out shops, and one of the main chunks of the first floor is controlled by the Old Tail, which is it's a brass trimming, type of old school Boston, bar, a bar and grill. Madeline's in charge, and clearly she has a direct connection to Dove. You don't know what it is, but you've certainly seen her. You've met her for sure. And there are others. And Agent Sims is kind of your field handler. Now, this guy is a human. And yes, I do. Well, anyway, he's a human. He doesn't have any magical ability per se. And But he is the guy in the field that goes and kind of feels stuff out and sees, do we actually need Dove agents on the ground, and then he'll be your contact. That's his job. And there are a few others too, but he's kind of the main one for your office, because it's not like you have things that need Dove agents attention every day, right? It's not that insane, right?
Mhm.
So you make contact with him, and of course you guys are in the city of Newton, which Newton has a lot of problems because Newton sits upon a broken nexus. A solid nexus would be something controlled by a big organization, like I said to the guys, often fought over, right? But a broken one is not of much value other to hedge wizards, right? And hedge wizard meaning, low level, low power magical people, right? And this is There's thousands of them across the war, because magical wars leave scars, and magic and human and war has been going on for tens of thousands of years. So there are scars everywhere. Newton is one of them. But They came out here, and their first field mission. They met with the Newton Police Department Deputy Pauls. The sheriff has not been seen yet, by the way. And she's used to kind of dealing with these kind of problems, but this one's definitely freaking her out. Took them to the Wormwood. They found themselves a very bizarre thing, where it's an astronaut from what did I say, the 40s?
1957.
1957. Okay, the 50s, who had somehow been ripped through time and was lying in the White Wood. So very bizarre. The only kind of magic that maybe there's some others, but this is a big abyssal transfer, red flag, right? And now, do any of you? What is your occult level, GOP?
Mine is not as good as my old characters, but let me see. Xander Lyons. His occult is a D6.
Lady?
D6.
Okay, so you guys aren't you aren't high enough to be able to, like have magic that would allow you to trace magic. You're not good enough yet. But that's all
Yeah,
right.
Jacob. Yeah, the Jacob character had a D8.
A D8, yeah. So but that's okay. That's okay because in this game, D8 is the beginning of mastery, right? The beginning of it.
Yeah.
So you have to have a D8 in anything to really be super specialized. Anyway, they found this problem. They fought this problem, and they succeeded in it. And then, of course, they talked to the deputy, and she threw them over to the local warlock, Mordecai Temple, who has been here for a very long time. Matter of fact, he's probably been here couple of lifetimes at least. He's an old hedge wizard. He's kind of on the edge of being a hedge wizard and an actual wizard, or a warlock. But he's pretty capable, and he's also a bit salty about some of the youngins that come in and try to get involved in magic. Now, keep in mind that youngin in this game doesn't necessarily mean young, right? It means new to magic, and that's
Mm.
what is happening here. At least is what he's saying is happening, because he said that there's a local group that's been making noise the past year or so, and he's warned them to be careful of what they're doing because there's real magic here. But they don't heed his opinions whatsoever. And he, of course, for even with your D6, you recognize the concept of the witch, the princess, the diva, and the harlot. Right. This is a one of the magical trinities. There are many. The rule of three applies in this universe, and it applies in many different ways. Right. And
Mm.
therefore, covens are built upon the rule of three. And some of the really large covens in the world can have hundreds of members, but they're all set in threes, right? That's just how that's how magic works. Because when you have three working, especially in a place that is boosted in magic, and even a broken hub is, a broken node is stronger than nothing, right? It's even better than being on just simply being on a ley line, right? But we, that this is it just increases the magic and capability. It's just the way it is, because the people who are connected either via the source, which in this world would be via the Ador, which is heaven, or you guys via the Umbra. Tethered people are a whole nother thing. Tethered people throughout history have been called the Magi, angels, gods. They've had many titles, because magic flows through you instead of you having a connection to it and being able to manipulate it through usually crafting items or potions. You're taking magic and applying it to something, right? And these guys do that too. But they also have integral ability. Nevertheless, these guys aren't that. These are a bunch of new yahoos that decided they were going to pull off some big magic. So we have the witch, and her name is, oh, let's be cliche. Her name is Agatha. Okay,
All right.
Agatha,
Agatha.
Agatha. Agatha Killing Jay. That's perfect. Let's be cliche. Um, the diva here is Peter Smith,
All right.
and the harlot is, let's see here, Jennifer Ortiz.
Okay.
Now, I'm glad you've now have it and written it down because I immediately forgot. Although the
Yep.
first one's name Agatha, I won't forget. Maybe that's why things cliche are used.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
Yeah, that's probably why.
All right. So we gathered that information from Mordecai. That I'm assuming.
Yeah, he's talking to you. You guys are still talking to him. And
Okay.
he explains that Agatha actually has been in town forever. I mean, she was born and raised here. And just from the way he talks, you could tell this guy is old, right? He's much older than any of you are. Although you don't know if he's anywhere near the age of Lady Nim, but she's kind of freakishly bizarre. But Agatha's been here since she was little, and she's always been nosing around magic her entire life. She always wanted to get into it, but she just has no ability, right? Until something happened. He doesn't know, but now she does have. She got a spark somehow. He's not sure how, but she did. But the problem is that spark was just too much for her because here's the problem. If you're born with a spark, you literally can handle it because it's in your DNA. It's built into you. If during your life you find a way to be sparked, which spark simply means be able to connect to the umbra in some way, right? Or the source if you're like a divine born saint. But if you do that, often the mind doesn't deal with it well because the mind is not genetically set up to interact with the umbra, right?
Hmm.
It often causes insanity. It's not guaranteed, but it's common. And she's had this problem of late. So he doesn't know who sparked her, but she was sparked and she's paying for it. The diva here, what's his name? Peter. Um,
Hmm.
he is a newcomer. He doesn't know much about Peter. He's from outside. Heard he's a New Yorker, and he literally when he says New Yorker. Of course, New Englanders, we hate fucking New York. But I know that you don't understand the struggle. I know. I know. But he's some kind of lawyer from New York or something like that, like a legal attaché, or he's not sure, but it's something to do with law. And he rolled up into town about 2 years ago. He has no clue what this guy does. None. He know he's a high roller. He's rich. He bought uh, the old Whitmer house out in the forest. He knows that, and he feels that that's where they probably meet most often because it's outside of town. But the Whitmer house. But he didn't know much about him. The harlot, she's been here over a decade, and her even though it's a magical title for how to do the power of three. There's literally hundreds of thousands of combinations. But she lives up to the namesake because she's been here a decade. She's not native, but she slept with nearly everybody, and he kind of sheepishly looks to the side when he says that. Uh, so
I
uh,
see.
yeah, so she lives up to the namesake, but she's been here for over a decade, and he one of the things that intrigued him to try to recover a little bit is the fact that she was born with a spark, but she didn't seem to know that, and he didn't tell her. But she was born with a spark. So he doesn't really know because although he pays attention, he's not literally micromanaging other people's business. I mean, he just pays attention, so he
Yeah.
doesn't know much, but he knows that it's probably these guys because the other practitioners here are at least wise enough to know what not to touch. But he thinks it's probably Peter is the instigator in it. He believes, but it's an
I would.
uninformed opinion.
I would inquire. I only have basically two more questions for him. Essentially, he said it was 2 days ago. The event
Yes,
happened then.
yes,
Do you have a
he felt it.
time?
Yes, the at the actual he chuckles, the actual witching hour, because it's not
Okay.
really a thing. It does Time is irrelevant when it comes to magic. Actually, celestial alignment can be important, but time itself means nothing. But the whole, you guys understand the cliche nature of the witching hour as well. So what is that?
All
3 in
right.
the morning, right?
No idea.
Yeah, I think it's 3 in the morning. But he said it woke me in a start though.
Hmm.
When it happened, I felt it. Like I said, I was sleeping. Unfortunately, I'd probably be able to give you more accurate information, but it was heading, at least, it was coming from at least the direction of the Whitmer house. I can't be, this guy actually is, he's a bit salty, but he is trying to be helpful. He is trying.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess the only other question is who does he think is the most dangerous of the group?
He would assume the instigator, Peter.
Yeah. I figured I'd ask. Um.
But like I said, he hasn't like done an investigation into him or anything. It's not, he's busy with his own shit.
Oh
And
yeah.
but also, even though you saw he was a little bit sheepish about Jennifer, he also seems a bit mournful about it. Maybe he actually did like her.
I see. All right. Well, you said before that the witch out of character. You said
Yeah,
before that the witch frequents the asylum. So
yeah. Well,
perhaps
yeah.
perhaps we should. Oh, you want us to hold out a second while you get that?
No,
I
feel
was
this
messing with
alarm
you.
clock going off.
I'm just messing with you. Okay. So so anyways, what I'm thinking is we should probably contact the asylum and see if Agatha's there,
Sure,
because it'd probably be smarter to go there first if she's by herself, and we might be able to get more information than if we went to their meeting place and tried to confront two or three of them all at once.
sure.
So, um, okay, so we're gonna thank him for his for the information. Unless, lady, you got any more questions you think we should ask him, but I think we're good.
Why? She looks around the place. Someone of your stature. I feel that is very high. Why do you choose to stay here?
Born and raised.
She nods. Thank you.
You're welcome. What do you guys
All
think of
right,
the aesthetic motif I'm going with here?
I like it.
Spooky.
It's different than the
Yeah,
last game, right? I'm trying to be different.
very.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's supposed to be different though.
it is.
It's
And
not like a sci-fi game, you know.
no,
All right.
but it's also the
Uh,
formatting and how I set things up, right? It's very
yeah.
different.
Yeah.
That there it was like individuals and stuff like that. This is more of a, I don't know, like a showcase. I don't know.
Hmm.
It's different, but I like it anyway. So what are you
Yeah.
guys going to do?
Let's head back to the car. Um, when we go back in. Oh, by the way, so since Tower's character was from Chicago and I have to play as him, I'm gonna speak to Deputy Pauls. Hey, can you talk to that there I'm doing a Chicago accent.
So
Hey,
you
can
went
you
back
talk
out to
to
the
that?
car because she didn't come in.
No, yeah, we went back out to the car. That asylum over there, where the uh, we need to ask and see if there's an Agatha. I look at my notes. Agatha, killing Jay. Yeah, that's the one we need to ask about. See if she's over there.
She's like, okay. She gets on that, picks up her radio, and calls into dispatch. Now, what was I wanted to say? Okay. Well, anyway, she calls into dispatch, and they come back, pretty quickly. They phoned over, and no, she's not currently being held for treatment.
Okay, well that's great. Which means she's probably at the ritual house. Uh, can I also ask when was the last time she was in?
Sure.
Was it
She
before
makes
the
that call.
incident?
And by the way, Tower's character, which is your old character, but that character, because of the higher occult probably, is actually back at the station dealing with the Dove team that is
Okay,
here to
makes
pick up
sense.
the body. So he's kind of adjudicating that, which is someone has to. So or
Mhm.
not, depending on whether I need it or not. Yeah, let's see how handy that is. But anyway, all right. So uh, they come back and they said, yeah, she was in 38 days ago. She was released
Okay,
38 days ago. And
okay, so
and the lady on the dispatcher is quite good at her job, it seems, and she asks a few extra questions for you, and saying that the majority of her stays at the asylum, which they don't call it that, but the stay at the asylum, is self-induced. So she checked herself in. Although there was an incident uh, uh, 14 months ago when they never heard of her before. So this whole insanity issue has been going on 14 months, where the family inducted her, or in what is the damn word? My brain's not working.
I mean, that can work, but yeah, there's another word that's
Damn it.
better.
Anyway, nevertheless, there's your information.
Admitted,
Admitted.
admitted.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Okay. And then I'm also gonna, as I guess we'll head over to their residence. But I'm going to look up priors, both in regular crimes and in any magical crimes that may have been committed by any of these individuals.
Lady would be able to get on that quicker than anybody here.
True, true.
Probably
If
was
you want to
doing
look,
it while we're in there visiting with that guy anyway.
Maybe. So this is not a difficult thing for you. It's no need to make a roll. But you find that Agatha has had zero priors whatsoever. Even though she's for the past 14 months she's been having mental instability. Peter Smith, he you find was a New York legal attaché with the State Department, and he was let go from his position uh, two and a half, well, a little over two years ago for unknown reasons. There is no listing of why, but he simply left. Right? Uh,
Is there a for a note on that character? Is there on that attachment of his leaving notice any kind of supervisor signing off on it?
sure.
Okay,
Let's John
we'll
Hazard.
chase him down later. We'll chase him down later.
all right.
Okay,
And the girl.
and the girl, Jennifer Ortiz. Um, she's been picked up her entire life. Although the past decade of her being in here in Newton, she's had no problems. But when she was younger, there's a lot of prostitution arrests, drug charges, petty crime. When she was younger, she was pretty bad. Drug addiction, sex addiction, stuff like that. So it's very minor, but there's a lot of it. However, the past decade, things have been quieter for her.
Okay. So no violent uh, crime
No, no,
behavior in
no,
her
no.
past.
She's a girl who got hooked on drugs and got passed around, basically. It's that type of
I
Okay.
do
situation.
think maybe we can call somebody to contact this supervisor of Mr. Smith and find
You,
out why he
Sure,
actually left.
but that wouldn't probably be something we could do right at the moment. I would think, but that
of
is
course,
something
you
we should
could.
probably do in
You
the
have a
future.
direct line to mission control,
Well,
Oh,
direct line
especially
to the
lady.
moon.
oh, okay.
Anyway, get hooked up to mission control and asking. Let's see if this supervisor can give us some clue as to why he left the organization.
Yep. They check it and they says the supervisor died 25 months ago.
Convenient. But he signed off on it 24 months ago?
26.
Hmm.
Ah, okay.
Well then, that's
And
interesting.
was it a suspicious death?
Says natural causes.
Okay. Well, he's definitely the one we keep an eye on. Um, yeah, I guess we'll go. I mean, I'd like to have our gun guy here with us, but he's not. So let's head out to their residence.
Okay. You guys
What
head
I
out.
find interesting
What was that,
is
lady?
that what I find interesting is that some of the stuff didn't start to 14 months ago.
Hmm. That's right.
He's been here for 2 years.
No, he hasn't.
She
No, he hasn't.
No, he hasn't?
No, he's been here 14 months.
Oh, excuse me, okay.
So
14 months ago when this all started, he showed up.
Well,
Hello.
Agatha started 14 months ago, it seems. Yeah.
Yeah, Agatha started
Agatha's been her whole
something happened.
life. Jennifer has been here a decade, and Peter has been here 14 months.
okay.
14's the magic number.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So,
All right. Let's
Deputy Poles, that's her name, isn't it?
pause. Yeah.
Pauls, yeah. Deputy Pauls is your chauffeur for this, and she's kind of noped out, to be honest with you, but she's doing her job. She takes me to the Whitmer house or the Coven house.
We do ask her to call for some backup already, just in case.
She kind of, she looks at you and she's, well, with
Yeah.
Dove, we usually don't do that.
Yeah. And plus we don't really have enough to go on to make an arrest at this point. We have to do some further investigating. I mean, we let people obviously, it's a smart thing to let people know that we're here. I'm assuming we do that. It's just standard procedure. But
Yeah, they usually stay out of your way,
Fine.
and that's probably why the
yeah.
sheriff's not even talking to you.
Mhm.
He put a
Probably.
deputy
Unless
on
it's
it,
part
right?
of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all right. It's your first mission. You don't really know how things work,
Asking
really.
Paul to check the house for other electronics to see if it's hooked up to anything.
You're
Where's the
asking,
power come from?
you're asking the deputy.
No, I'm asking my AI named Paul.
Oh God, you confused me. All right. So,
Well, he's named after a person, so
yeah, sure. That would require a roll. It's a test. So let me set that test up on the. We're using the DD dice here, of course. So let
yeah.
me
And
go
I
ahead
gotta
and do
figure out
that.
what my thing was.
That would be a standard. Now I have my Doom pole, which I can use, but this doesn't need to be that vicious. So I will just use 3d6.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I need to do that 3 times. There we go. Okay. Alrighty. So I have I do believe
A one.
a one. Now that one right there. So I have no effect die. Oh no, I do. I'll use the 5 as
Actually, I
my
didn't get to see the roll.
difficulty, and the
Oh well.
2. It's well, you need to
Too
be
late
on the
then.
dice thing. 2 is my
Yeah, I
effect.
know.
But you guys get you can either take a what is the word we're using in this game? PowerPoint. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
PowerPoint. You can either take a PowerPoint or you can put a complication on the scene. Seeing as we're not really inside the scene yet, I'd probably just take the PowerPoint.
Take the PowerPoint. You earned
Lady?
it.
Yeah, take the PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Take the
Well, both.
PowerPoint.
Yeah. So definitely take that.
Both of us get one,
No, just you.
or
Well,
me. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So all right. So it's a 5 difficulty. Go ahead and roll your all the dice associated with that. So it would be your
Okay. So
mental.
this will be
It would be
mental.
it'd be mental. It'd be one of your descriptors that applies to your technical expertise, and then you would get your
An
whatever
8.
skills associated. Plus, you would get the asset that is the phone itself.
I think that's a total of
We got to roll it. So
4 8-siders.
okay, well then click on the 8-sider 4 times and roll it. No, you have to roll it on the DD. There you go. I'm sorry.
Huh?
No,
What?
no, it's my fault. It's my fault. I apologize. Alrighty. So, yeah, this is a good roll.
It was just slow getting there, huh?
Yeah, no, it's my fault. I can hear it before I can see it. But anyway, the effect die for you would be you would take the 5 and just put the 6 and the 8 together for a 14. Great success, way above mine. Matter of fact, that is a 14. I rolled a 5. Too bad you didn't roll a 16. Matter of fact, here is my
Yeah,
suggestion, lady.
switch it around.
No, 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 no.
No?
Just listen. Okay. Here's my suggestion. Burn a PowerPoint, even though you completely blown it out of the
Oh,
water, but burn a PowerPoint to add the 4 to the total, right? Because we have an 8, a 6, and a 4, right? The 5 is your effect die. You don't need to. You just leave it as a 5.
okay.
Or not a 5, it's a D8, right? So you can, matter of fact, we'll add the 5. But burn a PowerPoint, add that in, which gives you a total of now of 19. Okay, and that is 2 5s above my roll of a 5. So anytime you have 5 or more above, and in this case you've done it twice, right? You get a heroic dice. So write down on your character sheet 2d8 hero dice. It's definitely worth the PowerPoint because a
Let me
hero
take the
dice
PowerPoint
lady.
off first.
Well, it's 2 8-siders you have as hero dice right now. The hero dice, just like PowerPoints, roll over session to session. You can use it anytime you want. But that's the important thing about hero dice, lady. You can use it anytime you want, even after a roll.
You said 2d8?
There's 2
Hmm?
8-siders. Yes, you have 2.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, but hero dice, keep
Done.
them in mind, lady, because you can use them at any time, and that's quite convenient.
All right. Even though we're supposed to use the PowerPoint or
This is not a
plot point
PowerPoint thing. This is
beforehand.
separate. It's separate.
Beforehand. We're supposed
hmm
to.
Yeah,
That's why
Yeah.
they're so
but,
powerful. You can
but
you
your
can do them
hero
after the
dice,
roll.
your hero dice you can use after. Power, like if you're spending the PowerPoint to add one of your dice to a roll, that has to be before the conclusion is made,
Yeah.
normally. Yeah. So, but this one, you can add a dice after the fact.
Yes, the
You know what
hero
I'm
dice
saying?
are very useful because normally you can't do anything after the dice is rolled, but with hero dice lets you do that. They're pretty cool dynamic. I want to see how it works. GOP. I'm curious to see how it plays out in the long run. But anyway, you have that, lady. Keep that in mind. Now, as far as your role, magnificently successful. And you're checking for electronic devices, some kind of modern tech coming out of this place. Not only do you detect none, you detect none. Like not even
As
like
in
a
no power
TV.
lines.
Yeah, no power,
Not
no
even power.
nothing. Right, which doesn't surprise
Okay.
you because to mix technology and magic takes a special type of magic that most people don't have access to, and it's more modern anyway. Well, somewhat more modern. Technomagy is a very specific thing, right? So,
Okay.
in general, most wizards, particularly hedge wizards, electronics and modern devices do not gel well with them.
All right.
Okay, good to know.
Let him know. Not even electricity in the place.
Mm-mm. Which is a bit odd because normally you would see at least that because It's not that like that's not something that's going to affect anything directly, but the wizards tend to be real fussy when it comes to electricity. But especially if you have a coven or a larger group, just by simply, because they're artisans, right? Magical people who are not like you in the world, they're artisans. They build things and infuse umbral energy into it to make magical items. That's what they do. They can't do any magic on their own. They need a device or something in their hand, right? And therefore, they can solve any of the modern technological boon via magic, power, light, whatever. They can do it magically. So, what do they need technology for anyway? Nevertheless, interesting situation. So what are you guys going to do? Paul's is in the frickin' Bronco. So
Okay. Well, are we? What time of day is it when we get there?
let's see. This has been going on. I'd say it's after lunch. You guys didn't stop for lunch, so
Yeah, we didn't. Well, my character, he has a cigar in one side of his mouth and a hot dog in the other.
that's fine.
He yeah, he eats
Jeff
a lot.
Bridges, R.I.P.D.
Yeah, he's very much like a '70s kind of cop look, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. It's too bad that movie got such hate from everyone because that was so great. Jeff Bridges was spectacular in that movie, dude. He was really, really good. And of course, he was teamed up with Ryan Reynolds. It was really good teaming. Anyway, sorry. So what do you guys do? I'm just waiting here. What are you doing?
Okay. We're going to well, we're
Have you
gonna
done?
walk up
Yeah.
cautiously, but not so cautiously that it looks like we're being suspicious in a way. But we're gonna walk up to the door
Hmm.
and keeping an eye out if there's anything odd. Could we do a perception roll?
Sure.
All right. My character's perception is not as good as my old one, but
Perception.
this would be his mentals.
Now in this situation, I didn't ask you for a perception. You did. And in this system, it's really simple. Whoever asks for the thing rolls first.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's fine.
So you guys
So
roll.
let's.
I didn't know if you wanted me to roll or not either. So
Well,
It's up to you.
yeah.
GOP's rolling. So go ahead and roll.
If you want to assist me though, because we're just kind of looking around to see if there's anything out of place around the
we're
entrance.
looking at what skill are we looking under then?
Well, if
Uh,
you no, the lady, if you
No.
assist in perception, what it does is it gives him a step up on one of his dice.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I'll
how it
help him.
works. You're assisting, so he gets a step up. It's very simple. I love the
Okay.
fact that it's so simple. So, GOP, obviously this is mental, right? Whatever description applies to this situation, which I'm sure you have one, but name it, please, so we can get a little bit used to your descriptions. And then a skill that applies, and of course, a specialization if you should have to happen to have it, and any asset if you have any, right?
Okay.
So,
So
what are you going to do?
all right. So my mental ability is only D6. My distinction is clever. Umbral Explorer is the one where I have more on my mental side.
Yeah, okay.
Um, so I would assume, as someone who is used to venturing and looking for things,
Oh, yeah, no,
that would.
that's perfect. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Umbral Explorer.
Um.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So that is 2d6, and then I have only a d4 in my notice, but I'll put the d4 into a d6 with
The step up.
ladies' assistance.
Sure. And
Yeah.
you have no assets or anything like that. So that's weird that you built the character like that, an Umbral Explorer that doesn't have
Hmm.
exploratory abilities.
Right. Yeah. Well, he's. I mean, he's actually surprisingly quick. Um. Well, I mean, I gave him a step up in his quickness and a few other things, but yeah, it's not that's not his particular thing. That was more of my other character's specialty.
So
Was more
what is this character's thing then?
he's the face guy, so he's more
Oh,
heavily
he's the
social.
social. Okay. All right. Go ahead and make your roll.
Yeah.
3d6.
Okay. Pull that up. My dice. No, oh, I hit the wrong thing. Hold on. What? Add the extra. Oh, here we go. I forgot how to work it for a second. What was I cocked? Oh, that was a 1. Darn it!
Hey, thank you. So I add another D6 to the pool.
No.
Sweet. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Now like I said, I can roll any or all of my doom pool anytime I want, but in this situation, it's not necessary. So I'm just going to roll the standard 3d6. Okay, and I rolled a 1. So therefore, you get to either put a complication on the scene or take a PowerPoint.
Um, I don't know what sort of complication I would add for this, though.
Yeah, you're not
Uh,
inside yet. I mean,
uh
although I think for the fun of the game, we need to kind of figure how to do that out, though. But you can add anything like flickering lights, slippery ground. I mean, we need to get a little more creative and think about it in the long run. But no, take the PowerPoint
yeah.
right now if you want.
I'm just taking the PowerPoint.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. I guess I knock on the door.
Yeah. And there's nothing to proceed, so it's fine. So anyway, you knock on the door. Here we go. And no answer.
Is there a when we pulled in? Was there any vehicles in the driveway?
No. Well, you don't know what's behind the house.
Give
I'm
any hand
uh
signals?
I'm gonna go for a walk, and I kind of I go wander around, kind of towards a bit more where the driveway path was, but I'm still gonna be looking behind the house to see if there's anything back there.
There are. There is a beat up old Honda Accord from the 80s. There's a Volkswagen Bug, the newer, uglier ones. And there is a Mercedes Benz
I
Black
want to cut the
Okay.
Series.
tires on the Mercedes Benz.
All right. So, is there is there any buildings in the back? Is there any
There
other
is
places
a
where we
there
might?
is a shed, yeah, and you can't tell exact what it is, but off in the back in the wood a little bit, there seems to be another building, a large building.
Okay. There was no trespassing signs, I'm guessing, on this property, right? We
Not
pulled
that
up.
you've seen, but you are here with the police,
That's true,
and you do have
but
DOJ badges.
that is true. But normally we would have to have a warrant in regular situations. But
Oh yeah, but the
that's
government lies and cheats constantly, so who cares?
that is true. And my background is a criminal. So, anyways, I'm gonna go check out the shed.
The big one?
Um,
Hmm. Okay, whilst
well,
he is doing that, lady, what are you doing?
I'm doing his backup.
Okay.
yeah,
So you
probably.
guys head over to the shed, and it's exactly what you think. It's a landscaping
Keeping
shed.
an eye on that
It's got
big
a
place.
it's
Big
got a
one.
little teeny John Deere riding mower in there. There's some weed whackers. There's some a bunch of rusty tools as well, weed whackers and clippers, and it's just a tool shed.
And using my
Uh,
multi tool to let the air out of the Mercedes Benz. One tire
what?
anyway.
what?
It
Okay.
reinflates itself. Do you not know what the Black Series
Damn.
is?
No, I did not know what the black tires is.
Yeah,
I want one of these
um,
vehicles.
one of the premier vehicles on the planet.
do I see anything through the
Okay.
windows? Anything that looks suspicious in the
It's too
cars?
dark, please. Oh, I talked to Mercedes. Never mind.
It looks like because you guys have studied a lot of things in the past decade. You even been on a few field ops, but you haven't handled it yourself from beginning to end. But one thing that's very common with magical people is the natural, right? Nature, plants. Because the simple fact of the matter, if you're trying to infuse umbral energy to create magic, it's a lot easier using a source based material than a non source based material. So, therefore, a feather is way more powerful than a piece like a ruby, right? Or a piece of like a chunk of gold, right? Because it was a living thing. So living things are essential to magic, right? And as you look through the windows, you see things like this. It's It's very magic centric. You've seen this freaking tons of times. Even your headquarters
Big
has this.
car.
The Sanctorum looks like this.
Okay. I wasn't expecting to see that in a car, but
Not
we'll
the
just keep
car. I
going.
thought you were looking in
I know.
the.
I was looking at the car windows because she just looked in the shed
Well, you said
and we
look
were in the
through the
back.
windows, so
Oh, well, I meant at the car, but that's okay. I'm assuming we looked in
I
the
said they were
windows of
too
the
it's
house.
dark.
just a car, guys. It's not a
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
business.
No, I know. I know. I was just seeing if they left something in there that might have been interesting. That's all. That's all I was inquiring about.
So I
Okay.
looked in the shed. This is what I found. Okay, let's go to the
All
big
right.
one.
Let's head to the building out in the woods. And this is, I'm guessing, what we see inside the windows if we go over there.
As you walk a bit, you see it's a dilapidated barn. And between the house and the barn, it is so heavily overgrown, it's probably not been used in decades.
See if we can get a
Okay.
satellite overview of this area.
Um,
Say 200 feet.
yeah, sure, you probably get a weird angle on it, but yep, you don't see anything else.
All right. So there is no path.
I
You're
doubt if
saying
we,
going
I
to the
doubt
barn.
if we can get a
No, there isn't.
infrared
It's
scanner.
way overgrown. Yeah,
Okay.
and it's
So what you're
dilapidated,
saying is
falling down anyway. The roof's got a giant hole in it. It's you know.
okay. So what you're saying is probably nothing there. All right. Um. Okay. So I guess we know they're at the house because their cars are here. They weren't answering the door unless they're in like the basement doing something. The potential.
Unless there's a basement in the shed.
Did you
Or
notice
they could be
anything in the
hiding.
chat?
You didn't notice
You
anything.
can.
But keep in mind, when because you're worrying about, warrants and stuff like that because of that, maybe that DOJ badge you're carrying.
Mhm.
You are a Dove. You don't need no damn warrants, dude. You do not operate under the auspices of the American government. They operate under your auspices. Understand
Okay.
that's
So
important for you to understand in this game. Dove is more powerful than anything else in the American government.
I could pick the lock and enter their premise and not have
Fuck the
legal
lock. Break the
ramifications.
lock down with a kick.
You
Oh,
have seen a
jeez.
couple of incidences during your past decade and of training, and what you've seen is there is no legal repercussions. You've seen people just blow innocent civilians away. There's zero repercussions coming from any government toward you. You might get a stern reprimand from a superior, or maybe even
We'll
some
just say,
penalty or something like that. But the government itself is nothing
so
to
we'll
you.
just say the door was open. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
well, you wouldn't even bother to mention it, is my point.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially you.
Yeah, Mike. Okay, I'm just figuring out where the
Use the bigger
line
truck.
is.
Come on.
There is no line.
Like, yeah. Okay, that's just what I didn't know. Like, I figured I was thinking
Well,
like a detective.
the
Yeah.
way the way the charter houses work and have always worked is magical concerns when they go get out of line are literally potentially genocidal, right?
Yeah.
Some
Okay.
in some situations. So
Kill them
it
and let the
trumps
deities
any kind
figure
of
it out.
economic or political bullshit.
All right. Then we're gonna swing back around and head it into the house.
What
That's
did
what
you
we're
say,
gonna do.
lady? Lady, you said
Lady.
something?
I said,
Yes?
send them to death and let their deities figure it out.
Yeah, that's fine.
The
Wow.
same way as kill them and let God figure it out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
All right. Let's.
yeah.
Hope we
And
were
you
I
know
was
ready.
this
trying to
as
think of the
well.
right term for
Now
this.
this is world. No, that's fine. What you said is fine. This is world building as well, right? We're being introduced, and we're doing it together. This isn't all my way or the highway. We're growing, right? So one thing you both have seen. Some people involved in the charter house system, because you've been to others. You've even been to Umbral training grounds, right? You guys have been other
Right.
places. Some of these people you would consider not just criminals, but fucking villains, dude. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Your characters are a little on the nicer side, but It's in the service of magic, and that's all that really matters.
Yeah.
Obviously, they don't like people are going out while trying to solve a problem, murdering 100 civilians. It's not a good look, and it's also unnecessary. So there's certainly reprimand and sanctions and banishment and things like that that can happen, but it's not that kind of world. It's much darker.
Okay. All right. So yeah, then in that case, let's I'm assuming we have tools that we can pick the lock. So
Well, you probably
I
do.
have
Yeah, you. Yeah.
yeah, I do. I've got my trick is a deal. So so that's good. Okay. So would that fall under mental or
No
physical?
need to make a roll. There's no special
Oh,
security here whatsoever. You pick the
oh okay.
lock. Matter of
All right,
fact, it's
cool.
not even locked. Let's do that.
All right. I'm going to spend a PowerPoint to use so I changed up his magical signature asset and his ability. So I'm going to use my magical signature asset, which is the gaudy ring of illusion.
Sure.
Uh so I can essentially create an image and the image looks, sounds, smells real. Um and I'm essentially going to when I open the door, I'm going to send the illusion in ahead of us of just
Can you see through
another
it?
agent.
Can you see through it?
No, it looks like an actual
Yeah, yeah, but that's not my
solid
question.
figure.
Can you see through it? Is it like a
Oh
simulacrum
no
or?
no 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 no! I can't see through it. It's
Okay.
going to be kind of walking up ahead of us.
All right, fine.
Um,
Well, it heads into the house, and you do too, and you see stuff that I was showing. You guys are coming in, and the illusion is moving ahead of you, and
mhm.
you guys are using it to pull any fire, I guess. But of
Yeah.
course, you
Right.
see this kind of lounge room, which is quite comfortable, to be honest with you. And you see like there's like kind of an alchemy laboratory with a greenhouse built into the solar. And like I said, you've seen places like this, but you have to say the Whitmer house is very comfortable in its magical nature. You get a feeling that this has been used for a magical place far longer than the 14 months that Smith has owned it, right?
Okay.
So this place meaning it smells old magic, right? But
Old family magic.
you guys are looking around and you see all this stuff and there's nobody. It looks like a normal place, people living. You see some coffee cups on stands with half drinking cups. You see some dishes in the sink, in the kitchen. You see that there's like it's very nice inside in some of the appointment, by the way. And there's a library that's just packed full of stuff, dude. It's packed full. It's kind of, it's what a real hoarder's library looks like, not like the ones we see on the Hollywood movies, right?
Yep.
But
Yep.
you're looking around and there's nobody, dude.
Is the house dusty? Like I
Nope,
doubt these seems like this. Oh,
not
it's not
particularly.
dusty at
Is
all.
the coffee
You don't
still warm?
no, the coffee is not still warm.
Okay.
The does anyone here have any botany?
No, that seems like a.
Not by deal, just regular knowledge of
Because you notice the
D6.
plates in in the sink are starting to show signs of mold. Starting.
Okay.
Now this place isn't like immaculately kept up, so there's some cobwebs here or there, but no, it's lived in.
Because I was just looking to see if there might be places where it looks like dust was disturbed, like maybe a camera or not a camera, but a
So you mean you
picture
want to do
frame
a
or a bookshelf.
search? Oh,
Yes, I'm
well
searching through the house.
then do that.
Okay, that's what I thought we were doing. But okay, that's fine. Maybe
Well,
I
no,
didn't. I need to specify.
there's a difference between looking around and making rolls,
Oh, okay.
right?
Well, I'm searching through the house. I'm sorry. I was that's what I meant earlier. So yeah, I'm searching the house
Okay.
for them.
Now, and that's one of the things I love about this game. You can do whatever you want. You just have to put a roll together for it. It's pretty cool, actually. But anyway, yeah, go ahead and do a search. We don't need a specific skill necessarily, although you probably do have them. So go ahead and you guys should be doing searches. So we'll start with GOP. Let's go over the dice.
Okay. We're both rolling for it, or is it just whoever gets the higher, or whoever wants to roll, and then the other person assists?
You can
Because
do
that's what we
that.
were doing
It,
before.
it you it's up to you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Wait,
I'm
wait.
gonna use my IA for something.
In this
But it's
situation, it's kind of useless.
well, no, it's gonna basically check on if this house gets a mail, when was it last delivered, type of stuff.
Oh, I see.
You know,
Yeah, it's
if you
innocuous. The information is innocuous.
okay,
I'm
all
telling you,
right,
at this juncture, your research aspect is not useful.
it's right.
Oh, wait a minute. This is a good time to use, so I can spend a PowerPoint to put a situate like something on the situation, right?
Of
So
course you can, yeah.
okay, I'm going to use the PowerPoint to say that the house was actually dustier than than like it was actually a little bit dusty. Can I do that? Where like there are places where if the dust was disturbed that it would be noticeable
I
to
guess.
make it
Yeah, sure. They just really
easier
don't
for
care
us to
about
search.
upkeep. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Well, it's a big house and there's only three of them.
Okay, so what this does is it puts a complication or a situation on the setting that is a D6. Now, sometimes you can spend, I think, 2 or 3 PowerPoints. I'd have to check it to bump it up to a D8 as well. But that's fine. It's a D6, so whatever roll you make, you get to add that because it's applying, right? We're searching
Hmm.
for secret doors, is what you're insinuating, and therefore it applies. Yep, that's how it works.
All right, cool. See, we did find a way we could use it.
We did.
Awesome.
All of it.
All right, so lady, I'm gonna assist you on your search roll. So just
Oh,
Okay.
okay, ladies.
up one of
So
your dice.
we're using your mental. We're using a distinction that applies. So, what distinction that you have you think would apply to searching old buildings?
Mm. Socially technical.
Nope.
Uh, nope. Uh,
Well, what are your three distinctions?
Grim Umbral hacker. The military awareness, survival,
All right, there it
and the
is. There it
so
is. There it is.
There it is.
That's it. So what is the
what?
dice for that distinction?
For which? Oh, for which one?
The
The
the one you
last one.
just said, the survivor thing,
D6,
a D6. Okay, what's your mental?
D10.
D10. And
I mean
what
D8. I'm
a
sorry.
D8. And what
I'm
skill do you have that applies to searching?
the searching.
Be under your notice, I think, would be
Yeah, under
the.
Yeah,
notice.
I
Do you
got
Okay, so notice. What is your notice?
it's going to be D6 unless it's computer science, which is D8.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay,
It
That's
is
fine. Yeah, so so
D6.
we have a D8 and two D6s,
and
and therefore we'll bump one of those up to a D8 because he's assisting. You have a complication on the scene, which adds another D6. So we have two D8s and two D6. Do you have any assets that would help in this situation? You don't, because we know your asset is a
Oh,
computer thing and it's not going to help you
all
in
right.
this situation. That's fine. So 2d8 and 2d6. Go ahead.
I can't see the rows.
no,
I
it's
can.
actually
One
a
eight,
decent.
1 4, 1
It's
4,
a
one
pretty decent roll.
6.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So obviously, you probably want to take the 12 and keep the D8 for your effect. I would say
Yeah.
might as well. Me, like I said, I'm. This
I
is
thought we had only had 2 dice though together.
Yeah, no,
that's what I just did.
the 8 and the 4, and then the other D8, which is a 6, that's going to be your
Oh,
effect.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
remember the
okay. The
effect
6
die
really
doesn't
doesn't
matter the
matter.
roll. It depends on the
It's
size
just
of the
6.
dice. So it's a
Okay.
pretty solid effect. In this situation, well, once again, I'm not. I have a big pool, but there's no need to apply the pool because this is not that serious. So I'm only doing the standard 3d6, and I got a 10. So therefore, you
You
succeed. Now you guys are looking around this place, and you check the ground floor, all the kind of stuff, and up here on the second floor, you find there is it's been converted into a bedroom, but it probably wasn't that. It was probably some manner of den or some kind of like a meeting place at one point, but it has been kind of haphazardly turned into a bedroom. And as you're searching around over near the fireplace, you see that one of the columns of this beautifully articulated and designed columns of the fireplace, there's a dust pattern on the floor that seems to be swinging out. So you kind of grab a hold of the this pillar that's on this cold fireplace, by the way, and you pull on it, and sure enough, the entire fireplace drops into the ground, into the floor, and there is a stairwell heading down. And for those paying attention, you notice that there is kind of a wall that's a box that separates. Now that you're seeing it, so there's a kind of a structural box that separates the lounge and the kitchen and the solarium and stuff like that. So it's this must be what it is. There's a stairwell ahead of you, and it is magically lit.
I'm all right.
Are
Just
we
remember,
gonna
I'm
let the
sending
deputy
my
know where we're going?
huh.
We gonna let the deputy know where we're going?
Well, she knows we're in the house. I mean, well, we have. I'm assuming we have means to communicate. Just well, yeah. Just make sure that they know we're
Yeah,
Yeah, but she's
investigating.
putting
also kind of irrelevant.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying if we disappear, then
Well, she already knows you're in the house, so
yeah,
okay,
putting
that's
a
fine.
wedgie in the thing for it can't close behind us.
what material are you using to wedgie it?
A book.
Eh, okay.
Oh
Um,
wait, no, it's a fireplace. We put a poker in there.
whatever. She put a book. All right. But as you head
Okay,
down the stairs, it doesn't close anyway.
all right.
You do see a
And
lever on the wall, however.
Don't play with it.
is the path open, or
It's
we're not
just
going to mess with the
it's
lever?
just a spiral
Yeah,
staircase going down.
yeah. Okay, then that's fine. I'm guessing the lever is the shut it. So
Probably.
that's yeah. I have my illusion ahead of us still. Just letting you know.
That's fine.
And we're heading down the staircase.
Okay. You come into a magical circle altar sacrifice room under the property. Like I said, this place smells of old magic, and this is definitely old magic, right? The people don't do this style anymore. But just think of any Hammer, Hammer movie production, and the dungeon witch dungeon room, right?
Mhm.
Is what this looks like. It is, of course, like I said, in the corners there's cobwebs and stuff, but it's well used. It is not dusty, it is not unkempt, it is used. And as you're looking around this room, you see all kind of effects in the room that speak of torture and other things like that. But what you do see is over on the altar, you see a woman You can't see her face, but you see a woman, and she's has her hands, both hands, on the altar. You kind of look a little sideways. You can see that she has her hands on a book, actually, on the altar, and she's chanting in Latin. Does anyone speak Latin?
No, but I pull out my gun. I also have the illusion pull out. Well, I'm assuming our guns would have already been out because we were searching around this place anyways. But the illusion tells her, "DOJ, freeze!" with the gun pointed at her.
She keeps chanting. Lady, here's a situation where your device might be useful.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sure it has a translate button on it, or app on
Yes.
it, seeing as even my
Yes.
freaking iPad has that.
Have Paul translate what she's saying.
Okay. She is chanting something magical. She's basically calling upon the dryad of the forest to keep her promise and to empower her with connection. She over and over she's talking about this in a various rhyme, but each verse is a slightly different, but it's all the same thing. The dryad, please connect me to the Umbra. The dryad of the forest, please connect me to the Umbra, is what
She
she's saying
doesn't
over
stop.
and over and over.
Okay. All right.
Lady, stop or we'll shoot.
There's no
I'm
response
pulling
from
out my
her
plastic
whatsoever, dude.
cuffs. I'm
Uh,
moving as fast as I can
I gave her the
without
warning.
crossing the circle.
There is no circle.
Okay, without touching the circle, getting
There is
up
no circle.
behind her, getting behind her, pulling her arms back and encasing them in plastic cuffs.
Okay, as you pull
And
her back and she kind of whirls around as you're doing so, and you're cuffing her, which you have zero resistance, by the way, zero. You see this.
that's not what's her name, is it? The heart. It is.
It
Okay.
is the
Yeah.
harlot. Yes, it is. And
She's the one that's supposed to have magic. So okay.
well, she had it in her. Mordecai
Yeah.
told you, right? She was born with it. But
Yeah.
one thing you notice about this is obviously she's in some manner of trance, and she's been how long she's been here a while. She's been here so long that you can tell her skin's starting to dry, and her eyes are actually bleeding. They've actually bled onto the book
All right.
that you see there. And the book is simply a magical tome. You would have to investigate it a little bit to understand what the book is. But
Has
and
she
even
stopped speaking yet?
no, she has not.
Taking my taser out and stunning her.
It has zero effect.
I think she's already possessed. I
Yeah,
think
you guys
is
are
what.
missing the point completely. You are.
Yeah, I know. But I was trying to do something other than just stand there and look dumb. Huh, I'm
Well,
good at that.
I mean, am I right? She's clearly already possessed by something.
Something's
That
going. You
seems to
don't
be.
know what it is, and seeing as you both have shitty occult, which I don't understand why.
I've got
Uh,
a
uh,
D6.
That's
The
shit,
worst.
dude. You need someone. You need someone that's got serious occult. I told you guys this, but you
Calling
don't
in
really
the
have any
sheriff.
clue what's
Not the
going on,
sheriff.
other than the fact that something magical is happening. That's your level of understanding. Something magical is happening. Um, that's why I really stressed in the beginning that you guys have a cult. It's kind of important for this setting.
Well, we only have
Calling
so
in
many.
to the which McGee
Well, it's all right.
to
You
the
guys
phone.
get experience and stuff at the end of the game, so maybe you
Mhm.
can bump it up because you really need it. It's really important.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I already.
Calling into headquarters. Tell them what we got right now.
Yeah.
Non-responsive.
Do
Probably
we see
still
Okay.
in the yeah.
any other bodies around here? Because she
Nope.
still has her cohorts.
Nope.
Okay.
Only thing you have is the book and her. She's not stopped. The taser, you could tell that it hurt her body, it hurt her, but it didn't stop.
Yeah.
She's not violent at all, guys. So that
All right.
Uh,
she's almost limp. And she looks like she's been doing this straight for quite a while, right? But she is not stopping the chant. It's just over and over and over and over.
Whatever's doing this to her is beyond our ability to handle, I would say.
I don't know what's going on with the book, so after she has her pulled away, we start taking her away. I'm gonna kind of just put the book in a bag without touching it, just because I don't know what's going on.
All right. Keep
I
in
don't know
mind,
if it's
lady, you are the people
Yes.
who deal with these things.
yeah.
So
But
you
we're
saying it's beyond your
inexperienced.
ability it means you shouldn't have this job. I'm
Okay,
just
fine.
saying,
Once I
your
get her up
character
there in
understands there is
daylight,
nothing beyond your ability. This is what you
okay.
do.
Once I get her up there in daylight, or I can I make her sit down
You're
in
gonna
one of
have to
those
carry her
comfortable
because
looking
she
chairs?
can't walk.
Okay. Looks
That's
like I'm
fine.
doing all the heavy lifting around here.
Well, are you
I'm the
strong
bigger
enough to carry
person.
another person?
I am. I
You
will.
Yeah.
are? Okay.
Yes. I will. I'll take her, lady. You take the book. It's in a bag. So, and we don't see any other people here. So probably something happened to him. I would assume. But right now we have her. So let's take her back.
Okay.
Okay.
You get
She
her
needs medical
upstairs
attention.
and you're carrying her. Like I said, there's no violence coming from her at all. Matter of fact, her body's pretty rigid. When you pick her up, she doesn't slump into your arm. She's like a plank, right?
Okay.
Which actually makes her easier to carry, to be honest. But because there is no dead weight, oddly enough. But it's like every muscle in her body is fully tensed. And her hands are still in that position, by the way, of touching the book on the
As
altar.
the book,
We
her hands
weren't
were on the
able.
book.
He put it in a bag.
Able. Yeah. We weren't able to pull them behind her back to restrain her.
No, you weren't.
Oh. Okay. So the
Unless you
handcuffs are
want
on
to
the.
break her body.
Okay.
No.
Nope. I just thought. I thought,
She
lady,
gave
we
no
handcuffed her.
resistance, but her body did resist.
Well, her
Yeah.
body,
Okay.
she
No
didn't
big.
resist at all. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Her
That's fine.
body is like a
Oh,
statue.
look who's here. Hey.
Who's here?
Howdy.
Oh, it's a tower. Okay. Hey, Tower, what's up?
Uh, I I forgot what day it was, and I just got back from shopping. I'm
That's all right.
sorry.
No problem. It's
Did you
actually
use
kind of
condoms?
perfect timing because what we
Oh my
covered
Oh,
so
God.
oh
far
yes,
didn't
I
mean
did.
any combat. So even though these guys are
Okay.
scared to death, though, Tower, they are absolutely little babies. They're
Yeah,
terrified.
we don't know
Who,
what's
with
going
us or
on.
the actual children?
Mm-hmm. No. Here's the question, GOP. Does Mulder and Scully are they scared? Are they afraid?
Who you gonna call?
We're being reasonably precautious because we don't know we're going into a place we don't know what's happening exactly.
Uh-huh.
And even if we had more arcane knowledge, we still probably wouldn't have all the details.
Well, arcane
So it's
knowledge just showed
I
up.
mean,
So there you go.
GOP,
yeah.
it can't be worse than Canada. We'll be fine.
All right.
Okay.
Well, you guys got her upstairs. Matter
Yes.
of fact, I'll switch over to the Coven House picture. You got her upstairs. Like I said, she's rigid. You feel, Tower, is your character particularly fit, strong fellow?
Tower's character?
No, no,
Yeah.
not Tower. You,
Oh, me?
GOP. Sorry. Meaning it
I'm
was
not
Tower's
weak.
character. Okay.
I'm not weak.
You feel like you could, it's just flesh, so you could break things if you wanted to, but that's kind of what it would come down to. You breaking joints and stuff like that. So, luckily, you do have the Bronco, so she can be laid down in the back. And that's probably what you've done. And is there anybody here that has any kind of medical background or has
Tower's character.
so
If
Towers
he's
has a medic stuff? So, but Towers not here. He's back at
yeah.
I
the
have a
police
D6.
headquarters. Huh?
You
I
should
have
give
a
me a call, GOP.
No, you're doing something. It's okay. We're going to
Mhm.
get
Okay.
the gang back together here in a minute. Don't worry about it. Lady, what are you
All right.
doing?
I have a D6 to see if I could treat her somehow, some way.
Oh, sure. Okay, so you don't need to make a roll, but you're looking at her, and just your general, because you've taken, like I say, a paramedic course
Right.
with that level, right? You're a kind of like an EMT. whereas someone higher would be, various levels of medical ability.
Right.
But
Right.
with that, you're looking at her, and she's clearly dehydrated. Her skin is certainly dried, and you're starting to see some dry patches on the skin, and her eyes, of course, are bleeding. She's also has blood coming out of her ears and a little bit out of her nose. Yeah, she's not in great shape. She's not in great shape.
I need to get an IV started at least.
Yeah, what will you try, but you can't puncture the skin.
We can't punch her through the skin, but she can bleed out of her eye.
Well, yeah, because it's
Yeah, it's a different membrane. Yeah.
yeah.
But anyway, you get her in. What are you guys doing now, though? Because this girl is in pretty bad medical condition.
We're gonna have to take her back. We're gonna have to take her to the hospital. Like, what else are we gonna do right now?
Okay. So the deputy gets in a high gear. You guys all drop in. Lady's in the back with her, and you bring her to the hospital. The hospital
I
in this
call-
town.
I think that we need the other people that have the body, not the.
Well, those people are actually left. Tower has finished his job.
Yeah,
They're
I
gone.
let Tower know where we're going.
That's fine. You communicate with him, and he just finished. He said he just finished up. But yeah, no. Lady brings up a good point though. Should you take her to a hospital?
If she's possessed, it's gonna go from one person to another.
Take her to a church.
Is it gonna go? Wait, should we take her maybe well, we gotta take her somewhere where we can actually get some sort of medical equipment, you know.
Gee, I wonder if there's somebody I introduced to you as the party as being a fairly capable wizard that might be able to help. I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, all right. Well, I didn't know if he had the sort of equipment with him, but we can take her to Mordecai's. That's fine. He just, medical equipment. I didn't think this guy had
If
that.
there's anyone that could help her, it would be him.
That's
Well,
true.
it's not
That is true.
necessarily medical equipment that you need,
That's true.
right? So
Yeah. Okay,
you
let's
guys
take her to
head to
Mordecai's.
Mordecai. That's the right place to go. Yes. So you bring her in. Mordecai is mortified. I was waiting for that. Hours of waiting. Yes, but because you could tell that he rather liked her, and he jumps into high action and he starts looking and he does little spells and he puts little policies on stuff and he doesn't even talk to you guys. He's just focused on her 100%, and he's doing that. Now, you guys going to wait for his diagnosis, or do you want to do something during that time? Because it's going to take him a little while.
Well, I would assume that also I would have told Tower if we weren't going to the hospital, we're taking it to her. Or
Yeah,
taking
you
it,
can communicate with each other quite.
Yeah.
You have modern.
Recording it all.
huh?
Yeah, no,
Recording
I'm
it
sure
all.
you are. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So Tower shows up at Mordecai's place. You give him directions. He shows up, and he's back with you now. So whilst Mordecai is working to try to help Jennifer, what do you guys want to do?
I would suggest Tower, since you have both medical and better
Occult.
than we do, you could probably assist him. I would assume.
Okay. I will. Well, how long is it going to take for me to get there?
Oh, not long. It's a small town. You're there
Oh,
already,
okay.
Tower. You're already there.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I will assist. I'll do a cult. I'll look into the assistant. Well, actually, I don't even know the situation. GOP, explain to
Yeah,
me
well,
what's
no,
going on.
we're going to explain it via role playing.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you
Okay.
don't know what's going on, but like they say, could you help him? And you're like, oh, okay. So you go over to help him, and this is what you see, right? You see, remember last time you were here, we were talking about the three, right? They're a coven, just a single unit of a coven. And the harlot's name is Jennifer Ortiz. And you guys, they went over here to look for them, see what was going on, and they found her. I won't go into the other details because you weren't there. But you find her, and she's petrified in position, and she's been that way for a while. And she's chanting something over and over and over. So go ahead, and as you're trying to assist them, and you know what herbs and stuff to hand him. So you're helping out with that. But you're listening to the chant, and you have a much higher occult, right? So
Yeah.
give me a mental one of your distinctions that applies and your occult roll. Do you have any specialization in your occult? I would hope so.
He,
I,
he's
I, yeah,
he's got
JP,
a
if you want.
D8. He's got a
What?
D8 in his occult is a
No
D8. I know that.
specializations meant in that. Okay.
He only got gave us 5, and I think
Yeah,
I
I should have been a lot harder with it and explain because you guys built combat roles and you need it sometimes.
well, I mean, there's a lot of different options. It wasn't just combat, but
Yeah, I know,
combat.
and it's okay. We're used to playing those kind of games. It's okay. But go
Yep.
ahead
Yeah.
and take your mental, take whatever distinction applies, and your D8, and go ahead and roll it.
Cult would also be magical lineage. Would
Sure.
Yep. So there you go. So magical lineage, that's a D6, and then cult's D8.
Yeah, you guys really went super physical. Oh well.
Okay. I have to pull up the dice thing one
Because I
second.
keep seeing all these mental things that we need. You guys keep saying D6 when they should be D10. They should be D10s.
Well, his
You're
mental.
investigators, dude.
Well, no, his mental ability is a D8.
That's
His
fine.
magical lineage is a D6, and then
Yeah, no,
his
I understand. It's because you guys
yeah.
were used to playing combat stuff and you guys loaded everything in the
Mhm.
combat, so you're a badass combat. And we'll get into maybe a combat a case. So, you'll do well
Yeah.
in those scenes.
Well, my guy's more socially. So my guy's not combat oriented per se, but he's more socially oriented.
Where's the link for the other dice thing we were using? I'm not
DD
seeing it in
Dice.
general.
Could someone throw
GD
him a
dice.
link in Discord, please?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
scrolling through trying to find it. I'm sorry.
Well, someone will drop it for you real quick here.
Yeah,
Okay.
give me a sec. Go. There you go.
All right.
Well, how
Oh,
much
is this
XP?
different?
Huh? Should be the
Is
same
it?
room we were in before.
Yeah, just roll the
That's the room.
dice, dude. Just click on them and roll them. We'll see it. Go ahead.
No, it's not. It's not. The link didn't take me directly to that. It's brought me to a different page.
Huh? All right, hold on
Uh,
a second. I'll give you the
Here,
link.
here, here, here. Let me.
I'll give you the link here. I'll give it to you.
Oh, there it goes. Okay. Never mind. Never mind. It just popped up. It's loading now.
Okay. All right.
It had popped me to a create account thing the first time.
That's weird.
Yeah, I need to go set that up as a user. I will take care of that. But go ahead, Tower. So we get D8,
D6,
D6, and a D8.
D6, and a D8. Fuck, why is it not? It's not giving me the right page to just roll the dice. What is going on here?
Here, let me drop this in
Oh.
Discord. Let me drop it here.
Yeah, let's see if Chester's works. It's not.
Here,
It popped up
use
GOP,
this
but it's
one.
not letting me
Use
roll.
this one.
Okay.
It
It's
looks like
showing
the
that we
same
have.
though. It looks the same though. But just go ahead and try that.
It looks like it's because it looks like there's a fourth
It
person in the
does. It
room.
does look like it. Yeah. So I don't know what's going on.
When you told him to go check it and redo it, it showed like he went out and came back in. So I think he is here.
Yeah. Just try it. Click on the D8
Yeah.
twice and the D6 once and roll it. See what happens. No, he just dropped out again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not letting me just drop them. It's trying to have me
There you
customize
go.
my dice.
There you go. Go ahead and try it. You're back in. Try it now. 2D8 and a D6 and roll.
That's the thing is it's not in that page. It's in the customized page, and it won't let me just get out of that.
Here, I'll roll it. I'll just roll it for now. If that's
Yeah.
okay. and then we'll figure it
It's
out
got.
later.
I'm stuck in the theme page. It won't let me like.
Now, I
It only
think
lets
I
me
need to set
customize.
up an account so that I need to set up an account. It's got my name on it and stuff. It does have Bugbear's Basement in here, but I need to build an account. I'll take care of it. GOP, please roll.
I just
Yeah.
rolled, and now it's not popping up. Hold on, I'll try it again. I hear it. Okay,
There
there
you
we
go.
go.
Okay. So we have a total of the effect die is a d6 is fine. So we'll take the 12 as the roll. Me personally, let's roll.
Huh?
Yeah, no, that's
He's
okay.
rolling.
You're all good. You're all good. Okay. So you succeed. I just doing a simple oppose for you. All right. So you succeed. And this is what you realize. There is something there. She's chanting a magical rite of abyssal connection. You recognize this, or umbral connection. She's trying to. This body is trying to connect itself, tether itself to the Umbra, like you, right? Like you guys. That's what's happening here. And you're not 100% sure. You don't have the equipment. You look around the room, you might be able to cobble something. But because your magical ability is kind of equal to Mordecai's, actually, as far as your magical knowledge, he's older. But you might be able to get deeper into the root of it. But one thing that pops in your mind tower immediately is like, and you probably turn around and ask, is there a book or something?
Yeah, yeah.
So the bag,
Huh?
I grab the bag that lady's holding, and I open it up, and show him the book inside.
Yeah, you grab it, Tower.
Let me
You
see
take
that.
it out and
Yeah,
look at it. These
let me
guys
read that
are
book.
these guys are a bunch of babies. They're terrified to even touch a fucking book.
Hey, I don't. If I were to touch it and you go, "Oh, that was dumb," you get possessed,
That's
and
true.
I'll be like, "Oh,
Yeah, but you
GOP,
guys
you
think you're
can't
dealing
do
with
worse
a
than Lady.
possession. He just told you you're not. This is
yeah."
GOP,
not
you
possession.
can't do worse than Lady did last time,
That
where
is
she
fair.
got like
That is
Chester
fair.
blew her clothes off twice because she didn't get in the fucking ship.
That's true. I did. 3 times, I do believe, Tower. I think it was thrice.
She really got wiped 3 fucking times.
Uh,
Oh
I
my
think it was
god.
3 times. It's not my
uh,
fault. It's not my fault.
So
No, I know,
so
GOP. I'm just
Chester,
joking.
let's start reading this book. What is
Uh,
what do the words say?
This is a book that has been transliterated into Latin, but it's actually originally from Persia. It's a Persian book. And in your studies, you know that this book by a certain, we'll say, Ajadine Darius is the author of a whole series of magical books that are well respected. This is a transliterated version of it. And this one particular is used for usually used for creating golems or golem type
Oh,
things. And to energize the golem, it needs some kind of spirit energy. And usually, of course, they'll use the Umbra because finding being able to do source magic is kind of radically rare, right? Because you need permissions and you need patrons and benefactors and stuff like that. But of course, it's using umbral energy. And some reason, this lady, or she thought it was a good idea to try to connect herself to the Umbra with a Golem spell.
that's
oh.
not smart at all. That's a very bad idea.
That's what she did. Now, you know by flipping through the book and also your general knowledge that this required sacrifice. There's no way
Oh.
that this has gotten this far without sacrifice. And she keeps quoting in Latin, by the way. She keeps talking about the druid of the forest. She's not shut up, dude. The druid of the
Uh,
forest, the druid of the forest. She's on and on and on about that. And you know that there must be some kind of sacrifice required.
hey, Xanders. Does have you seen anything like a druid around? some wood critters, anything that could ring a bell to you? She's chanting some about some spirits of the forest. She used a spell to would raise up golems, and she's trying to connect with the Umbral.
Nah, the only thing we saw out there was a big old dilapidated barn. That was about it though, and a shed.
I bet did y'all go up in the shed?
Nah, we looked at it from through the window. You know, it didn't look like it had anything in it. We didn't see what was
Uh,
in the barn though.
is there anyone who might know of any druids or wood magic in the area? The only way she could get this far in the spell was using blood magic, or not blood magic, but sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
Mordecai
Well,
pipes up as you guys are chatting and he's working away. He says the Black Grove.
Black Grove. Well, Mordecai, where's that at?
Well,
Excuse
someone's
me.
dying. You okay, lady?
Here,
Oh,
here, lady. I got 3 ibuprofen from my back pocket. Take these.
Nice.
gee, thanks.
Nice.
You're selling drugs online now.
That's
Okay.
nice.
I think it was in character, lady.
He says,
Character, 'cause he's a
Mordecai
medic.
says that he hasn't investigated it in his life very clearly, but there's the Black Grove supposedly is a druid sanctuary, and therefore
Uh,
a dryad sanctuary as well.
Now, what else could you tell us about these druid dryads? Are they going to be hostile to us? Can we just walk up in there?
Well, he doesn't know that there's too many of them, but he doesn't really know.
Oh man, this is your call, Xander. But I think we better investigate this. She had to have killed somebody to get this far, and maybe that'll help break the spell.
Do we know that? You want to roll something to see if that
I read
logical?
the book. I read the book, Xanders. It was in the book.
Okay. Okay. All right. Um. All right. Well then. Okay. Let's. Yeah. We need to find the specific place out there. But I think we can head out that way. Go check it out. Very least.
He he takes this scrap of paper and gives you directions, hands it to you, and goes back to working on Jennifer.
All right. Let's head out.
Alrighty, I call shotgun.
I
Okay.
asked Mordecai, are you going to be all right?
He said, "Yeah, I got this. I got this.
You going to be here when we get back?
Where else would I be?"
No,
Is
don't
she-
get too far.
Let's go.
He
Right.
hasn't done nothing wrong, Gary.
Now,
No.
the deputy, what was that lady?
Paul's.
No, lady said something.
Oh.
I was telling him he hasn't done nothing wrong.
Mordecai hadn't done anything wrong. He's been incredibly helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
it's very helpful.
Yeah. So
He's
you
a good
guys
guy. We find him
give
burrito.
directions, and actually, you don't even have to. You say the Black Grove, and she kind of moans and takes off driving. She drives back over toward the park area where you guys were earlier, and she said it's about a kilometer past where you found the astronaut. She ain't going.
Uh-uh.
All right. Well, I guess we're hiking. Wonderful.
She said, "Just
My
stay
legs
on
work
the
just fine.
path, and you'll get to an old tourist mark for it."
All right.
Get up
Let's
and
go.
get up a quick jog.
All right, so you guys, well, a kilometer's not very far. You guys head out. You stay on the
Oh, wait.
path, and sure enough, there's a sign that says the not the Black Grove, the Druid Grove. And it turns to the right. You guys take it. The forest here is pretty foresty. There's not a lot of man's intervention in here, other than the path. You guys head out for a while, and you finish that kilometer. and you find yourself in a pretty dense bit of forest with several large trees, old growth trees that have not been cut. There's not a lot of these left in the east coast of America, particularly because a lot of the old growth has been cut, but there are a few little clusters of them, and this is one. And you can understand why, seeing as living things are so much easier to do magic with, right? Those rune masters and those people, that takes a lot of skill, right? Where any old, Yahoo can make some kind of natural potion. It's not very hard, but nevertheless, this is definitely has a vibe. It's got that power spot feel to it. It's very magical. This is not the node though. The node is deeper, farther away, but this is certainly probably a spring. None of you have any. You're none. There's no actual wizards here. You guys are all something else, and that's fine. But this is probably a spring coming off the node, you would think. But nevertheless, you're in this area and you start searching. So everyone, give me a search.
Uh, everyone, or we just want to go with assisting Tower because he definitely has the highest
Well, it's
percentage.
up to you. That would give him +2 steps on something. I will go since I'm asking for it. I'll give you the roll. Like I said, I'm doing just standard challenges for you here.
Okay.
I roll first, and what do I got here? I got a 10 with my rolls a 10 with a D6 effect. So beat that.
Okay, I'm pulling up his stuff on here.
I am too. Yeah, because my dice app's still not working right.
This is
Alright.
I have to look into setting up an account here is what I need to do. I think, but
I'll roll for him. That's fine
that's fine.
because
Yeah.
I've got.
Okay.
So with I'm assuming. Do you want to use your eagle eye
Yep.
or
Yep.
not?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he? That's kind of perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's his special effect where he increases his sleuth ability. But he
Oh, he has
does
to
you
spend a
do
PowerPoint to use it. Yeah, it's appropriate time
no
to
no no
use it
no,
though.
no, no.
Yeah.
It just drops his warrior ability down to a D8, but it increases his sleuth up to a D10.
Oh,
So
okay.
it gives
Okay.
him.
Okay. I just one of those. Okay.
All right, so that'll be a D10, uh, 2 D8s. So
And
we'll
then
make it.
oh, it's not urban. Yep. So I got you.
I'll make the D10 because I got 2 step ups. So I'll make it 3D10. I think that'd probably be the best way to do it.
Alrighty.
Okay, so let me pull those out. 1, 2, 3. Here we go.
Nice. Nice. Now
Okay.
that roll of a 17 is definitely higher than my 10, and it's more than 5 higher tower. So what happens here is you get yourself a D10 heroic dice. So write that down on your sheet, a D10 heroic dice. Now what these heroic dice do is you can use them at any time, even after a roll. They're extremely useful.
Copy this.
Time out. Shouldn't GOP get that?
No.
No, I rolled for him.
Yeah.
He also, you still should have, because we switched characters, I also gave you, because I had one hero dice in the past. So it was
I
a
have 2 hero
D6.
dice.
Yeah, one of them is a D6, and one of them is
A D10.
a D10.
You
Yeah.
just got, yeah. All right, and with that roll, very successful roll, you are able to find what you're looking for fairly quickly. Actually, that's not what I wanted. What are we doing here? Bring that back up. You're able to find it pretty quickly, and therefore, this is what you guys see. He calls you over when he finds it.
Oh. Well, we know what happened to the other two, I think. That's just my guess.
Right.
Now I know this
Oh,
isn't a perfect picture, but it gives you exactly what I want you to feel. So.
yeah. Okay.
It's loading. Oh, it's holding an axe.
Yeah, well, it
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be. The armor and the axe aren't there. But you get the idea, right?
This is some
All right.
Romeo Juliet shit.
Maybe. I'm guessing this is the sacrifice spot. Very well could be.
Well,
Uh,
the flesh of the male is completely gone, although he is wearing a very expensive Armani.
oh.
You don't need
Uh,
that black. Yes, the deal no more. So
and
we can take
although
that.
you don't know what the witch looks like, this dryad is an older woman.
Mm.
Is it alive or dead?
Oh, you see what you see. What do you want to do?
Geo,
Um,
poke it with a stick.
I was almost thinking that because the last time we had something like this, the second it got touched, yeah, I'm gonna have everyone's prepared, so we've got our
Everyone
guns
step
trained on
back and
it.
let's throw a rock at it.
Why not? Why not? I'm just gonna roll a little rock into its leg to see if it does anything.
Okay,
Why not?
so you roll a little rock into to see if it does anything, and it does.
Mm-hmm.
The male is gone, but the dryad does raise up, and she takes the skull with her. By the way, she's got a death grip on the thing, and you notice as she comes up, she kind of forms, and you see multiple skulls are actually making up her
Oh.
body. You don't know what that means, but it rises up and it roars in this horrific, unearthly sound, and it turns to the living things around it, and it is going to eat you.
Well, good thing we didn't get close and touch it. I just rolled a rock into it. All
Yes,
right.
a good thing. It is a good thing.
See, being
Oh,
paranoid is smart sometimes.
we should have just started off by shooting it in the face.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know if it was still, up and at 'em or not. So, oh well.
Well, it's up and at him
Okay.
now, and it's coming at you.
Yep. All right. Initiative, I'm guessing.
Yes, yes, please.
Okay.
And do we remember how we do initiative in this game?
No.
Yes. So it is our mental and physical ability, and then if any of our other stuff applies. So, uh, excuse me. Um, yeah. So like Xander's initiative is 22. And I believe Jacob's was 18.
Yep, I have
Hello?
eight.
Yeah, you don't roll it in this game. You take the dice, the
Yeah.
maximum amount, you add everything together, and anything it applies, like move if you have a move skill or a special asset or power. So,
Oh, I increased my move by one, so I have a D6 in move.
oh, there you
So
go.
I get to add that too?
All that
Okay.
stuff gets added together and gives you a total. This creature's move is not high. It's pretty slow. We'll say it's a 12. It's pretty slow, actually.
Okay. Well, I've got a 28. Tower with my character should have an 18. Lady, what do you have?
Uh,
What's your mental?
mental, physical, or D8s.
So that's 16.
I have survival,
No,
D6.
no.
No, survival.
Move
What's
would
your
apply.
what's your move at? Is it above a D4 or is it still a
No,
D4?
it is a D4.
Yeah, so no. So you're looking at 16. Yeah.
I was generally
Okay.
the last one anyway for last time.
That's all right. This thing is slow though. It's like, it's not very fast. So everyone goes first. So that means that
I
Tower goes first.
I go
Oh,
first
you go
with
first.
Tower Score. Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, this thing is coming at you.
Okay. I am going. So it's a 3d8 and 2d6 for my combat ability. So let me roll that. 3d8. Oh, let me clear this real quick. Here we go. So 3d8 and 2d6. Rolling it up.
Okay.
Oh wow!
Wow.
That is horrible.
That's a 2d8 and a d6. Wow.
Well, you know what? It would probably help if my character wasn't wearing his sunglasses still. and it's already shaded.
Was that
Oh well.
Actually, you know what? I'm not going to take that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 2d8 and I'm going to step up 2 of the d8s to a d10.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
so?
This
Instead of taking the doom dice, you're
No, I'm
upping
just
stuff.
my doom just got better.
Yep. He
Yep.
stepped it up.
I did.
It's tougher now.
And so this is a shit roll. And it's
Mm-hmm.
not effective. You only have one effect die. I mean, you can't use any of those, so there's no effect die. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
crap.
Yeah. It's essentially it's a 8 and an 8 effect, essentially. Or 8 and a 6 effect. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I'll roll anyway because you never know.
You roll all once. That's the only saving grace I could possibly have.
Just look at that. Look at
Oh my
that.
god.
There is
One.
one. There is a one on the table. You guys can take
1-1.
You can take a
I
PowerPoint or apply a complication if you like.
it's been laying there in the grass for you know what? Let's say it's been raining a bit, so it's a little bit muddy in the spot where it's standing because it's been laying in that spot for a while, so there's not like stuff growing over there. Like stuff's been kind of dying, it's just been kind of settling. So yeah,
Okay.
I'll that it has a it kind of is
No,
harder
it's
for
a
it to move.
D6 complication. I understand. Yeah, you don't
Yeah,
have to
yeah, these six
give. You don't have to give
complications.
any
Yeah,
mechanical
Can
aspect to it.
we all do a complication or just one per?
You could, but honestly, just take the PowerPoint tower. Just take the tower.
I was gonna say, I was gonna make her all the. I was gonna make the wood dry rotted since she was old, so it makes her weaker.
That wouldn't be appropriate. Yeah, what he did was fine. You can't affect the body of a thing like that.
Okay.
You can affect the
Can I have a
scene.
tree fall down on it?
No, you can't. That's not how it works. Just take the
Yeah,
PowerPoint
it was
tower.
worth a
Just
shot.
trust
I
me.
got
Take
you.
the PowerPoint. Okay.
Yeah, I'll
Uh,
do this.
Go ahead, Tower. You're next.
Okay,
That was
just give me
utter
one.
failure, by the way, GOP. Just, it laughs at you.
yeah. It was so bad. I hate it. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay.
Go ahead, Tower.
Yep, I have a shortcut, so I'm just popping up my shortcut. I'm gonna shoot it in the head. So that's gun combat with headshot. That's 2d12s, 1d10, 1d8, and 1d6.
Go ahead.
GOP, if you could.
Oh yeah, 2d12, d10, d8, d6. Okay.
Yep.
Roll that up. 12, d10, d8, d6.
Whipping out the lucky MP5 to give her a burst.
Okay,
Oh,
what did he
thank
get?
you. Another D8.
Oh,
I'll just
another
step up
one.
one of the D10s to a D12. That's what I'll do.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. So I would wager the smart move would probably be well shoot, because he's stepping it up to a D12 anyways. So either either you want to do your 19 to hit and then a D10. But if he steps up to a D12 and he gets it, then I don't know. It's up to you what you want to do with it. But um, either do the 16 or do uh, the 19. But the 19 you're only going to get D10 effect, and the 16 you'll get a D12 effect.
Make a
I'll
choice.
use this 16 with the D12 effect.
Nah, that's a smarter move. It is. All right. So it's on the table. Let me see if I can deal with that. Once again, everybody take a PowerPoint.
Yay!
Okay.
You affect it You do hit it, but I'm going to keep the D12 as my effect. Therefore, you apply a D4 damage stress dice to it. A D4 has been applied. Now, it will keep stepping up, though. Even if I meet or beat your effect, it will step up. But the only way to get above my to get big damage is to get above my effect die, right? But you did damage it. You're shooting guns, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so one bullet just passes right through it. Oddly enough, the other one, little chips come off the arm. But there is a D4 stress. Now, what that means is everybody gets to add a D4 to their pool. There is a D4 stress in play. Lady.
Okay, so to shoot a gun, you do the strength, the training thing for it.
No, to shoot a gun, you're doing physical,
Right, physical.
right?
Yeah.
Then whatever distinction applies, and then whatever skills you have, and possibly
Which is
assets you have, which I
military.
know you don't have. But so military distinction,
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
Yeah. So military distinction survival, which would be D6. And then my shooting is a D10. I thought, yes.
Okay.
So
Did you
waiting
put a
D10.
specialization in that?
Yes, I did.
And what is that?
The gun that I'm using?
Guns.
It
So
is.
guns. So you get an additional D6 unless you've stepped it up. It's probably D6. So you add another D6 to the roll. So you have 4 dice. Go ahead.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. It's an 8-sider? Yes. And a 10-sider. Please, no ones. Oh, use the hero point.
No, you don't have to use a hero point. Just
Oh,
wait.
I didn't have to. Okay.
Wait. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right. So you're looking at a 15, a 10 with a D10 effect, which is pretty good. So what I would do is you might want to spend a PowerPoint to add that 5 and give yourself a 15.
Yeah.
And that might be a good move. And now you can add a hero dice if you wanted to.
And that will do
It'll
what
add
to
to your
the.
total.
It
Yeah,
adds
let's
me
try. Let's try.
1d8.
So we're sitting at a
Okay.
15 right now. Go ahead and roll your biggest hero dice. Go ahead and roll it. Trust me, you need it. Okay.
3.
So we're looking at 18. And spend another PowerPoint. So you spent 2 PowerPoints. Spend another PowerPoint to take that D up to a D10 effect. Okay. So spend those 2
Okay.
PowerPoints and the hero dice. So we're looking at 18 a D10 effect. So let me go ahead and make my roll.
Gesundheit?
Who, me?
No, whoever made that sound.
Okay, everybody gets a PowerPoint or can add a complication. And I cannot beat it. So,
Okay.
lady puts everyone gets a PowerPoint. Write that down. Lady
right.
puts a D10 effect die on this thing. It steps from a D4 to D10. And lady, you're shooting a gun. She actually obliterates one of the skulls in the torso. It just shatters. And this thing lets out a scream. So there's a D10 stress die on this thing, which means every time you attack, you add a D10 to your roll, right? You should have had a D4 in that as well, lady, but that's all right. So, all right. So this thing is definitely hurt. And then it's my turn. First thing is I'm going to burn one of the dice out of my Doom Pole because that's how Doom Pole works. I don't have power points. I have to burn dice to do this. So I do take one of the D6s out. In effect, this thing lets out a scream. And you see like this miasma coming out of its mouth. Everybody here's
Uh-oh.
physical has been stepped down by 1 for the scene.
Okay.
Ooh.
So whatever your dice is for physical, it is now 1 step lower. So a D8 becomes a D6, a D6 becomes a D4, etc., etc.
Gotcha.
For the scene. And then it's going to make an attack. And seeing as Lady is the one that hit it, it's going to move toward Lady. So for this round only, I'm going to add your complication, right, to it by removing a 6-sider. I'm going to do it that way. I don't know if that's what I'm supposed to do, but it makes sense. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll do it that way. The D6 complication is hindering me in numbers of dice. So let me go ahead and as it lurches, it kind of loses a footing for a second, but heads over and tries to take a whack at Lady. So let me go ahead here and get this out. Alrighty. So everyone gets another PowerPoint.
This program really likes its ones.
It does. And then what am I going to do here?
He did say it wasn't going to be an asset we wouldn't have to worry about.
I will make my roll a 16 and take the D10 effect. So, Lady, you need to beat my 16 with your combat roll.
So I only got a D6 physical, right?
Yeah, well, your physical has been reduced by 1. So what is
Right.
your
It
physical
was, it
normally?
was an
The
8.
D8. Okay,
It
so
was 8.
D6, your military thing, which we're already doing, and then your whatever combat roll you're going to use. Maybe you even have dodge specifically.
The fight by focus the flint charge, the labor move. Notice a code operate platform. Shoot. Survival D6. They don't look good, but oh well, here we go.
Okay.
Mm.
No. So you fail, and your effect is not superior as well. So, Lady, you have a D10 stress. And actually, you roll another D10. You forgot to add your and the
Oh,
complication as well. So roll a D6 and
Oh
a
yeah.
D10 as well, please. We're forgetting this. Okay, and a
7.
D6, an additional D6, please. Okay.
It's 11.
So it doesn't change the outcome because I rolled so high. Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't change anything. But to remember, these are benefits for you, so you should definitely do that. Therefore, Lady, you take, you have a D10 stress. So this thing comes up, it whacks at you, it smashes you across the face, blood comes spurting out of your nose. You think you might have chipped a tooth. You're not sure.
Oh, my pearly whites. Oh no.
GOP.
Okay. So let's see.
The complication is
Take.
gone. It's out of that spot.
Okay. Fair enough.
However, it does have a D10 stress die on it.
All right. I'll add that to my roll then. So I'm taking another shot at it because it seems like the best thing to do.
Yeah, this thing is
So,
vicious, dude.
all right. So one of my D8s gets dropped down to a D6, but I also have a D10, so it should be D10, 2D8, and 3D6. Okay. That's 2D8 and 3D6. There we go. Oh my god.
Thank you.
This game hates me.
Thank you.
Okay. That's cool.
You're very
Yeah.
kind.
I think it personally, it's the dice itself.
I know.
don't like
I
those
know.
numbers. I don't like those
Oh
numbers.
boy. It's
It's
just
too hard to tell a 7 from a 1.
I can read it from the one side.
Yeah, I can read
though.
them just
And-
fine.
Well,
All right. It's definitely getting
Oh.
ugly, though. But let's take a look and see if you can do anything with these dice. So we have. No, God, that sucked, dude. You
It's
suck,
so bad.
dude. It's. You know what? I'll
Dude,
be
my
nice.
rolls-
I'll be nice. I won't roll my Doom because the thing is reeling around. I won't use the Doom pool. I'll just use its stats. How about that?
That's fine.
Just
I
to be
don't think it's
nice.
So
going
is
to help
that
either way.
is one of those ones the 10-sider?
So 6 to hit, and then I got my effect dice as a D8.
Everyone
wow.
gets a PowerPoint.
That's actually
Holy shit!
still
Yeah.
beats me. Oh,
It
but
does
no,
still
actually
beat you.
no. Oh yeah, because it's got the two together, but it doesn't have an effect die. Yeah.
Yeah. And I will burn one out of my pool to add that die. Therefore, I definitely beat you and have an effect die. So you take, sir. What is
Mm-hmm.
that? What is that? A D8?
A D8.
Yeah, a
Okay.
D8. I think it's a
So
D8.
so
Yeah.
the one that was there gets recounted, or do you have to roll a different number? Like, do you have to add another
No, I just
dice?
add the die. I just add the die. Yeah.
Oh,
So therefore, um, yeah, I just add the die. So that gives me, yeah, I'll take the D8. So those two, and then my, because I don't have an effect. The effect die is a D8. So you have a D8 stress on you.
okay.
Tower.
I'm going to look at it and say, "You chipped that girl's tooth. Now I'm going to return to you." And then I shoot, but I'm aiming specifically for the teeth in one of its heads.
Okay, go ahead.
So that's 2d12, 1d10, 1d8, 1d6, and then does
A
it
D
have
a
an effect
D10.
on it?
A D10.
Okay, add a d10.
Mhm.
So
Okay, so hold on. Let me pull it up because I forget I have to roll for you. So what is it again? One more time. Is two
2d12, 2d10,
okay,
1d8, 1d6.
And it's
1d8,
3D10 actually.
Oh
3d.
shit, it's 3d10.
All right.
Oh my.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a 20.
Yeah.
For sure, with a D12 effect die for sure. So yeah, that's a 20.
Yeah.
Now you could spend a PowerPoint right now
I
to
will. I have a lot of
add
them.
that 7 on there and make it a 20. Make it a 26. You should
Yes.
a
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Well,
26.
it'd be a 20. Be a 27, right? Because it's a
Yeah,
20 and
27.
then.
Sorry, 27 with a D12 effect. Damn, that's a shot, dude. All right, well I'm definitely
Mhm.
going Doom pool with you, dude. Screw that.
Actually, could I do 2 PowerPoints to even higher that?
I don't think I can beat it anyway.
I don't think you can, but I was gonna say, could it make
You
even more
could.
damage?
You could if you
Well,
wanted.
I'm adding one more PowerPoint so I could do even more
So
damage
which
on
die are you
top of that.
choosing?
Whichever one affects my, I don't know what the die pool is. Whichever one affects the damage the most, so I can try to do the most
you have
physical damage.
a 2, 3, and a 4. So I'm going to assume you're adding the 4 on top of
So
it.
that is a 31. Jesus. All righty.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, wow. Everyone picks up 2
I
PowerPoints.
also say, I also say
Everybody
for
picks up 2 PowerPoints. Write that down first.
Okay.
And
well,
I
I
fail
including me.
miserably. Go ahead and describe your shooting strike because that's on you, dude.
I pull up my gun. I'm like, you chip the broad's tooth. I'm gonna crack your skull now. I pull out my lucky MP5. I cock the bolt back. I start spraying for all the skulls. Gun in one hand, the other hand holding a cigar, shouting for the Queen.
For
You
the
know,
queen.
part of the deal was you have to attempt a bad British accent too when you're talking. That's
Okay.
Yeah.
For the
yeah.
Oh
Queen.
yeah, that's right. The queen.
Okay. This is what happens, Tower. You get to add a D12 hero dice, a D10 hero dice, and a D8 hero dice. Add
Here,
those.
give me
Write
one.
those down. Write those down. That
I
was a
am.
killer attack, dude. That was a killer attack. And this thing, he just explodes that other skull. There's only one left, the one that she is holding. So these other skulls are just destroyed, and the wood is kind of
So
flexing around the
I
fragments.
get a D8 really quick. I get a D8,
You
a
get a
D10, and a
D12, yes, a D8, D10, and D12. Individual hero dice. That was an incredible attack. And she is sitting on a D12 stress now, and that's how this works. So if you guys can get another hit with a D12 stress, she's dead. Okay. And lady, can you finish this
Yes.
up, lady? Remember,
Come
add a
on, lady.
D12 to your roll, lady. Add a D12.
I fucked him up.
You did. That was a great attack.
Okay.
He
That's why.
he no longer has any teeth.
And I like
Physical
how
healing.
GOP. I like how the fact that
Six.
we only went up to a D12 stress because it scales like that, but it benefits a great shot or a great action by giving hero dice.
Mhm.
It adds power to the effect. I like it. I like it. Lady, get this
Hang
thing.
on.
Add your D12 for its stress die.
D12, D6, D6, D10. Was there anything else I was supposed to be adding?
Probably not,
Uh,
other than your D6 for your specialization in guns,
Oh, that's 3D6.
which you
Okay.
can spend experience points to bump up. By the way,
mhm.
Spend experience points or
no, later.
PowerPoint?
Later, you can spend
Later,
experience
yeah.
points to bump a
okay.
specialization from a D6 to a D8. You can do that. Costs like
3.
5 or something like that. Go ahead and make your roll. All right, here we go. So no ones.
That's
We
good.
have a 12. You might want to spend a PowerPoint to make that a 16.
Yeah, I would recommend it.
All right. Any PowerPoint? Hello?
Yep. No, I
Yeah.
got it. I got it.
So it's a 16, and you have a D12 effect.
Yep.
Okay.
Oof.
Oh, well, that's
Bad
those are
news.
All right, lady. This is what you got to do. I am going to take the D6 and the D12 effect to try to protect the character. It won't work though. And so I've matched you, but in this game you have to beat me. So what you're going to do is, because it's after the roll, you can't spend power points to add anymore, right? What you can
Right.
do is add a hero dice. So it doesn't matter which
Yep.
hero dice you pick, you only need one.
I
Well,
only got one.
yeah, two, because you can't roll once. So you need to roll a 2 or higher. So go ahead and roll it.
Here we go.
Okay,
Oh,
very
okay.
nice, very nice. All right, so you are able to push back. The effect dice are equal, which is good enough. D12 to D12. So you have successfully ended this thing. Would you like to describe it, lady? How do you defeat this summoned dryad?
She had pinned me to the ground, laughing, drooling, bleeding, everything like that. And I like, oh, you bitch. Oh, you bitch. Ring up my gun from pinning down up through the noggin. It goes boom.
Oh wow. Okay.
Ah,
Up
Well,
through the
hopefully
noggin. I haven't heard noggin in quite a while. I'll take it though. That's pretty interesting.
sorry.
No, that's all right. Alrighty, so we have defeated. That was a pretty tough fight, I think. That was a
Mm-hmm.
good fight, which gives me knowledge as far as running it. This thing drops, and you notice as it drops, you see a lot of umbral energy floating off of it. You guys can see it because you're connected to the Umbra. We haven't really got into that because we haven't run into the situation yet, but you guys can see umbral things. It is a natural ability of your characters.
Yeah.
So you see the umbral energy coming off, and then it's all that's left on the ground are two shattered skull, fragments of skulls, an intact skull, which is much fresher. It's actually got fragments of flesh on it, and what seems to be a kind of like a wicker voodoo doll.
Oh,
Hmm.
really quick, I'm gonna go up to Lady. I'm gonna pull out a little bottle of Orajel and hand it to her so she can numb that cracked tooth.
Well, I wasn't able to actually put, trauma on her, so she doesn't have a chipped tooth.
I was
Uh,
at a D10.
Yeah, no, yeah. So if no, that doesn't work.
Oh,
If I am able to
okay.
get you beyond D12, it knocks you out, right? You're out of the
Okay.
fight, and you gain trauma dice. And trauma
Okay.
dice are a pain in the ass to heal. Where these normal dice, everyone like you're sitting at a D10, GOP. Do you have any damage stress dice on you?
D8.
A
First
D8.
aid.
Tower doesn't have any. And I think I screwed that combat up a little bit with how I did. I'm gonna have to go back and read it. But that will go away by the next case file. But trauma
Right.
dice does not go away so easily. Trauma dice can leave scars. Trauma dice can
I knew
leave
by the next scene I'll
loss
be
of
back to
limbs.
normal.
Yes, but
well,
not seen. But
so did her
next,
tooth actually get cracked?
yes, you can have all kind of damage. Trauma dice in this game is no joke. It is no joke, dude. You guys didn't get to a trauma situation.
Okay.
Almost.
So you're bumped and bruised, and that's about it. But that's all right. That gel certainly helps because she does have a bloody, cut gums and stuff like that. It's not a bad thing. Thank you very much. So all right. So what are you gonna do?
I just want to say that Tower had it right next to his shark repellent on his utility belt.
That's true. He did. Yeah, it
And
was right
what?
next to that. That was a Batman joke. Um, so what do you
Oh
guys
yeah.
want to do?
I'm gonna go and I'm going to grab the wicker voodoo doll.
Okay.
With your hands? Okay.
Yes, once again with his hands. Yes.
All right.
So you collect all the stuff, the skull, the voodoo doll, and all the accoutrement,
What
and
about
you
forensic
bag it up,
evidence?
Tower. So, which is the
Okay.
right move, by the way, Tower. Matter of
When,
fact,
when I'm
Tower,
done that,
because of your not being afraid and doing what an investigator should do, you gain an experience point, sir.
The investigator would know not to use his bare hands.
No, no,
Mm-hmm.
he's a well-researched wizard. He knows exactly what's what, and the magic is distilled from this. Take that experience point, Tower. It's all yours.
yep. Okay, now to make them happy, I whip out of a different pocket a bottle of hand sanitizer and I squirt some on, and then
Yeah,
I
yeah.
smirk at the
That's
lady while
that's
I do it.
that's the right way to do. That's the right way to do. Anyway, okay, so you've collected the dangerous, potentially dangerous magical paraphernalia. What do you want to do now?
Is there any wood where the druid once was? Is there any like
No,
wood
there
piles?
was never a druid here or involved. This had nothing to do with it. This was a
I will
sacrifice
collect
and a summoning spell.
evidence for DNA for we can tell who was sacrificed.
Okay.
Probably from the skulls he's got too.
Yeah, you could probably get a little bit of that, sure, from that, and you can check it out. But you're not exactly sure why the druid was not the druid, the dryad was involved. You're not really sure. But whatever, and so they came up with some wacky spell, is what they did. They were they
GOP. Oh, I'm sorry to cut you off.
well, no, they were trying to do a magic that or somebody was trying to do a spell that really wasn't meant to do what it's doing because they're inexperienced spellcasters. So what are we doing?
What if, and this is just a what if, what if that wicker doll is connected to the girl
Um,
who's,
Well,
what if they're
we're
connected?
we're just. I think what we should do is we should take the. I mean, obviously we're taking the doll. There's nothing else here for us to take. Let's just document it. We'll phone it in, and then we'll head back.
Now, to be fair though, when he picked it up, because of his occult level, he knows the doll's energy is completely gone. It's spent. It's just
Mm-hmm.
literally some wood now.
Okay.
Yeah, he
Well,
knows
it's
that.
still evidence.
No, you should bring it back. Yeah, absolutely. It is. This is a case file. Yeah. So where are you going back to?
The
Um.
car.
Well,
Well, yeah.
obviously
We'll head.
that. I mean, beyond
Well,
that, Tower.
Mordecai is probably where we should go since that's where our suspect is.
Okay, Mordecai's. Okay. So you guys head back to Mordecai's, and when you arrive outside, the deputy actually gets out with you this time. She has her gun drawn because the Mordecai lives a little bit outside of the town, not much. I mean, like a mile outside of the town center, so he's kind of outside. But the front door is not only ajar; it's just missing, and there's a huge hole where the door should be. There's just ripped wood and torn. Something just went through that space that was a door. So she's actually gun in hand going in with you, and I'm assuming everyone's gun in hand as well.
Yeah,
Something has
well,
happened inside.
I
Question,
a
Yes,
GOP.
yeah, I'm kind of in the middle of it,
observation.
lady. I'm kind of in the middle of it, but go ahead.
Sorry. Now, was it busted from the inside or out? That should
Inside,
be a
no.
quick
yeah,
observation.
but
Okay.
yeah, okay.
I
Um,
comment to GOP. It's too late to knock.
Yes, it is. But anyway, you guys run up to the, like a proper agent would do, not sit and cower behind the door. You guys run up to see the situation, guns out, peering in. You look in, and you guys are, doing the sweeping of the room like you would do, which you've been trained to do. And you get in the situation. You go back in the laboratory where Mordecai was operating, and it is an absolute disaster in here, and Mordecai is lying upon the table where the girl was, and from his abdomen all the way hit to his groin, something has eaten it.
Oh,
Something just took
I
a
run
big
up to
chomp out of his guts and dick. Just ate it.
I go and I check his pulse.
even possessed, she's still eating dick.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. But yeah,
Loading
no,
up.
he's well and
I'm
proper dead.
sorry.
Tower. Well and proper dead.
Well, I
Uh,
guess he's not getting that meeting.
I look at GOP and say, "We need to call the police and a coroner."
We are the police,
With the
but
police
Well,
are
then we
you
need to
are the
call.
police, and there's a local cop right here with you, Tower. Are you okay?
I look at the local cop and I say, "In that case, we need a body bag."
She's already on it.
yeah.
Good shit.
Yeah. So
Loading my grenades into the shotgun.
so you
Is there?
guys are collecting information on the scene. The cops and the coroner show up. They start processing the scene. You guys are there, and you're already on that. There's nothing valuable here other than something tore this room apart and then left the building by literally tearing the wall open as it went out. And you guys assume that that is Jennifer, because she was the one that you left him with not too long ago. You don't see any evidence outside of movement. You have no clue where she might have gone. Um,
Well,
well, this no, hold
surely.
on a second. This let me finish, dude. This process takes as normals and stuff do. You guys eventually, the coroner goes to the hospital, takes it to their local clinic. You guys go back to the police headquarters, and you're kind of discussing what you should do next or what happens. By the late afternoon now, it's raining quite heavily, and by the time you get back to the police headquarters, it is night has fallen, and you guys are left in a little bit of a quandary of what you should do now because the evidence you have suggests what, GOP?
That she got possessed essentially to some degree.
Nope, we didn't listen. Tower,
Oh my god.
what
Oh, okay.
is the general thing that went on here?
She was doing a magical spell to become a golem, and we killed something to do with the curse. So I'm thinking she may have transformed into a golem, maybe,
Well,
because
she
that's what
was
she's
using
trying.
an incorrect spell, but possibly by killing the actual magic that she kind of screwed up by choosing the wrong spell. What you did was allow it to complete. So she's
Mm.
not a golem. She can't be a golem. It's not possible, right? She's a living person. But the magic, therefore the umbral connection she was looking for, has probably been has successfully gained.
So she's part magi now.
She's like you, is what she is. She's umbrally
We-
tethered.
we-
And I don't understand, GOP, why you keep going back to the possession. There is no possession in this story at all. Zero.
Well, I
Xander,
mean, yeah, they're trying to. Okay, never mind. I just thought, yeah, she was trying to.
Xander,
Yeah,
if
there's no
she's,
possession in this, dude.
we have an evil girl who just transformed, and now she has the same magical abilities that we do. We're gonna need more guns.
Fair. Well, she has some kind of connection, and but you guys, you probably assessed it fairly well. She was the one behind it the whole time, not the other two, because keep in mind that the premise was that he Mordecai thought that that Peter Smith was the main protagonist or antagonist of the situation, but it doesn't seem that way. It seems like this is all her doing.
Who are
Yeah,
these people?
just
These are
from the other.
from last week. Yeah, these are the
Yeah.
three people who caused this problem. Now, obviously, these other two wouldn't have necessarily signed up to be sacrificed, so she did something. So there are a lot of questions still in the air of how exactly what went down, but ultimately, this girl was trying to gain power, and she seems to have succeeded. Thanks to you.
Mm-hmm. We
Well,
done.
we're good people. We help people achieve their dreams.
You do, you do. But so you guys are, kind of trying to decide what you're going to do next because you kind of know what happened here, but she's still loose, right? Now, that's not necessarily your job to hunt her down. That would be another division, right? But you could look into seeing if you can locate her because she can't be too far away, unless she's an Umbral Strider, and if that's that, which you don't know. But if she is, wow, she could be anywhere, right? But you don't know what that is, so it's not really your job. You are investigators. It's not really your job to do manhunts. That's like I said, another department. But what do you want to do? You want to try to see if you can't locate her, or just kind of pass it along?
Well, I mean, we can always call HQ and see if there's any trail of her. I mean, because if she's just lumbering through, if she's big enough to be bashing through the doorways and like creating big holes, then or if she's got that sort of power, then maybe she left a trail.
Maybe.
You know,
Okay.
uh,
Nice.
So you call Lady Nim then.
yeah.
Okay.
I,
You call back to Lady Nim, and you explain the situation, and she says that they did track a singular anomaly. She gives you a time frame exactly when you guys were fighting that creature. It seems. And but since then, there's been nothing. This is the information Lady Nim gives you, and she says, "Gather your information, and I want to report on my desk by tomorrow. Go ahead and use your recall devices and come back. We'll put someone else on this."
yeah, you got it.
All
And
right.
all right.
All right, so you guys all go outside, and you're kind of in the motor pool cover area because that's where the deputy is. You guys are thanking her, and she's polite, but she's not been pleased about this situation the whole damn time, right? But whatever, you thank her, and you guys gathered whatever information. Lady particularly is really good at that. You need to make your report because it's important you do, and Mission Control is going to take it with the people who actually do that kind of thing. However,
Hmm.
you guys are sitting there getting ready to kind of fall back into the motor pool area a little bit so you can activate your return locators, right? So you'll port back to Boston, right? Remember, we're using a teleportation system, an Umbral step system. But you guys are getting ready to do that, and as you say, thank you to the lady deputy here, and lady, you in particular notice across the street and bring attention to the rest of them. You see something odd across the street.
Guys, across the street.
Am I still on the phone with the agency or no?
No, you're not. Yeah. Well, anyway,
Uh,
lady recognizes a female that just is kind of emitting an aura that she could feel. You all can feel. And like I said, we kind of focus in on her. And of course, it's the harlot herself, Jennifer Ortiz. And what she does is she just kind of floats up like in amazing speed, and she got an umbrella, to keep out of the rain. But she just kind of is up on top of that little delicatessen, convenience store that's there. She was standing in front of, and she's on the roof now. And you see all of these umbral tendrils just emitting from her head, it seems. And you see her eyes glow red, and then she just disappears from sight.
well,
That's gonna be a fun in conclusion for the.
no way that's gonna come and bite us in the ass later on.
No, no, definitely, I
Oh
wouldn't
yeah,
do that. I would. Come on, I wouldn't do that.
What the
Yeah,
fuck is that?
there was nothing we could do.
that is Jennifer
What?
Ortiz. Now,
How do we wait, who? How do we know her?
He's
you,
the harlot.
she's the harlot.
She's the heart.
Oh,
Yep.
you know
Okay.
what? We could probably get those tentacles away from her if we remove the umbrella.
Yeah, well, I know the picture, but I chose something to express the emotion. I'm not an artist, so I can't find the exact image I want, so I try to find the closest image I can find. And I think it does the
Play it.
job. It expresses what I want. That's why I said it in the rain, so the umbrella makes sense. But um and that's why all these other pictures I choose are in the rain, right? These are all rain-based
Yeah.
pictures. So but I do the best I can, Tower.
You should
Oh,
try playing around with some of that AI art stuff, man. It's pretty fun.
I haven't. I should. No, you're right. But I don't know. I think I do a pretty good job of getting the aesthetic I want. I mean, I think these interiors here are what I wanted. I think they speak the way this came out perfect as far as finding a lady who looks a little bit like Jennifer Ortiz and the hands on the book and all that. I think this was successful. Um,
Yeah,
this was, obviously this is that's why I even went with the Hessen's Bride. This is obviously a Sleepy Hollow kind of homage, I think. But it expressed what I wanted to
Yeah.
express. So yeah, I
You
did
could
good.
have if you did have the AI thing, you could have just covered up that one portion with like the arm and like if you didn't want him holding the axe and all that, you could you could edit it where it'll only change that portion of the image to,
What's this deck you're talking about? What's it called?
Um, I want to say, well, there's a few different ones. So there's like Stable Diffusion is one that's pretty popular right now. Um, there are a number of them out there though. I'll give you some options, but Stable Diffusion is one that you can check out now, honestly. And I think a lot of his stuff is free. So,
Yeah, no,
or
that
there's
might
like,
be really useful for a person like me, especially as much as I love art. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Stable Diffusion online, but get started for free. There we go. Yeah, but it is neat what they can do with this. Boy, this is a game changer, isn't it?
oh yeah, it's
It is a
crazy.
game changer. But anyway, let's finish up our little thing here. Anyway, you guys, well, there's nothing you can do. We have no Umbral Striders here. None of you guys can track across Umbra. You're not those dudes, right? That's not what you are. So there's really nothing you can do. You head back to you click your return talismans that everyone has. You're back in mission control. I'm assuming you report what you just saw to Lady Nim, and
Oh yeah,
her secretary is frantically taking notes. Lady Nim seems indifferent as usual. But
understandable.
yeah, yeah, she's not really a person who seems to care much about anything. But nevertheless, she is a major contact point for you. You guys end up, because it's early evening now. You have reports to file, but we decide all to end the night by go getting a drink and talking about how you're going to set up your reports. And you have a choice. You can either go to the Old Tail, which is right downstairs, and it's basically a bar and grill, right? But across the street, a little bit down, but down the street, but across the street is another place that many of the Dove agencies hang out, and it's kind of a neutral ground because a lot of the magic people in the city of Boston, kind of hang out there. It's like the magical hangout. It's not associated to Dove directly, but it is a magical hangout, and that's Franklin's. So, would you rather go to the one that's clearly connected to the agency, the Old Tail, or would you like to go to Franklin's? Franklin's is it's more of a dinner show bar, like a live house.
Uh, I mean, this was our first like proper
What's the
mission.
drinking limit? Age?
For
You're
you, it's
well.
irrelevant in either place.
Okay.
I have a side question, Chester or GOP. What was the name of the burrito shop from the last game?
The
Diner Express,
Diner Express. Yeah.
Can we from this point moving forward add a Diner Express as like a canon thing?
the
You are not the
Inception, you
game
mean?
master.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But for you, I'll think about it. But anyway, which we're going to choose? We want to have a little bit of nightcap before we get some rest and have to get up in the morning and write a damn report.
It's our, huh?
The one down the street, I think that's or like a lounge. I think that'd be better.
Yeah, like I said, you have, well, they're both places you can get food and drink, but they are different in that way. But they're different also in the Old Tail is a department run place where Franklin's is not. It's just a magical people's hangout.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna vote for the Old Tale just because it's our first mission. Should be like a tradition, I think. But
Probably.
it's up to Lady. It's up to Lady because I vote the Tail. He votes Franklin's. What do you want to do?
Not split up the group.
Well,
We're
yeah,
not
so
splitting
pick
up.
one,
We're just
lady. The Old Tail or
yeah.
Franklin's, lady. Pick one.
They don't know that we're a member of. Do the people at the Franklin's would know if we were?
Absolutely
Prob-
guaranteed. Yes, everyone knows exactly who
Probably.
you are in the
Everybody
magic
will
community
know
of
anyway.
Boston. You are not
Let's
a
go to
secret
Franklin's. Then.
organization. So, which one would you like to go to, lady?
Let's go to Franklin's.
Okay.
All right, we're going to
There we
Franklin.
go. You go to Franklin's. Now, Franklin's has another female proprietor, and she is 100% otherworldly. Whereas you've been to the Old Tail before. Like I said, it's right there. It's right quite convenient. It's a little bit down the road. But Madeline is, just a normal lady. At least she looks like it. This woman is otherworldly, and you guys haven't. You might have come in here or not during your time here, but you've only been here for a month or so, right, in the Boston chapter. But you're getting heavy Umbral vibes off of Penelope. And she greets everyone who comes into her place. You don't know why it's called Franklin's because her name's Penelope. But she introduced herself. She's very beautiful. She's very, perfect host type. And she says, "Nice to have you here. Please have a seat." And you do see there's a sultry lady up there singing to a swing band. And there's all kinds of magical people in here. Matter of fact, when you guys came through the front door, there were two bouncers outside. They didn't blink at you at all. But you doubt,
How much do they bounce,
well,
Chester?
you doubt that they would allow a civilian into this place at all, because there are people who are clearly magical aberrations in this place. Clearly, where the old tale has none of that. It's just
Do they
anybody
have?
could walk in there. It's a bar and grill. What were
Do
you
they
trying
have
to say,
mustache?
Tower? What are you trying to say?
I was asking if they have mustaches.
Probably a couple, I'd imagine.
Alrighty, I got a good feel for this place. Let's get it.
You're not getting into that Zoomer's mustache return, are you? Please say no.
Wait, what do you mean Zoomer's mustache return?
Because the Zoomers are trying to bring back the mustache, and they must be stopped.
What do you mean? I have a mustache and a full beard.
Okay, well, that's not a mustache then. That is a beard.
Oh, what? Just the fucking
After a
clean
couple of
shave,
sips of
clean
whatever we
shave
order,
beard, like,
she get up and she starts dancing by herself,
That's fine.
just
Uh,
trying to relax.
I'm trying to see what Tower's argument here. What are you trying to say, dude?
I know.
I'm trying to think of what you should post a photo of the mustache you were conferring to. Are you talking about like the curly mustaches
No.
from like?
Look, Tower. Let me educate you a little bit. If you have only the upper lip with hair upon it and none anywhere else, this is called a mustache. If you have
Okay,
even something like a mutton chops or a Van Dyke or something like that, it is classified as a beard. Mustaches,
okay,
very specifically, are only upper lip hair, only.
okay.
So if you have hair anywhere else, even though it might not be full beardy, it's still considered a beard. This is the
So
rule.
if I
And why
okay,
was this
if I
classified? This was classified because many of the Baltic princes were really into the mustaches, and they made it. They put a tax on those things to try to keep the peasants from carrying their beautiful fashion. That's why it's so well detailed, by the way.
oh, okay, wow,
That was a thing. It was a thing in like the
wow.
16th and 17th century. Yeah, yeah.
No, I have a full beard and a mustache above the lip to go with said beard.
Once again, it's not called a mustache; it's just a beard.
What is okay? So even the
GOP,
hair above
deal
my
with this
lip,
boy.
the
Oh,
hair above my lip is a beard. If I have hair anywhere else, also.
That's right.
So, Tower,
Now, could you counter this argument by having someone with a full head of hair but no hair on
Tower,
the
No,
mustache?
no, no.
What do you call
how
the
many
bald
times
guy
have you
with only a
killed? How many
mustache?
times have you killed
A
on her?
mustachioed man.
What's up, lady?
How many times have you killed on her?
Have I what?
Did you use a condom?
oh my God!
Yeah. Like I had to buy like 3 or 4 packs in a week. Why? What's up?
Three
So
or
it is. You
yeah.
are using protection.
Yes.
Oh,
Well, how do we?
We
You
don't.
know, she
We're
already gave it up.
sitting in
She ain't worth keeping,
Franklin's.
right?
All right,
yes, we are in Franklin.
we are.
I'm referring
But
to his real life sex life.
yes, that's fine. That's
Oh
fine.
my
Everybody
God!
out
Let
there,
me
to let
let
you
me come
know,
back
he
over
gets
to the other
off
side here.
military.
All right.
Yes.
So that's our show for today, ladies and gentlemen. Poor Tower being outed. But
Oh my God!
anyway,
GOP
uh,
told me everything.
no,
I
you
did
can do that
not
offline,
tell.
lady. You can do that
Oh my
offline.
God!
You can do that offline, right?
You just asked
It's
me
not.
the
It's
question.
not. It's not. It's not appropriate. But anyway,
Oh my god.
thank you for coming in. This case file was, by the way, Space Cadet. That's what I named it.
Thank
And
you.
the spell energy just kind of, because it was so wonkily done. It's a, you'll find this out as time goes by, that the drawing that person out of time was just a side effect. It wasn't part of the spell at all. Nevertheless, we have finished our first case file investigation. It went fairly well. They were able to gain a lot of information, and honestly, there wasn't much they could do to prevent from happening what happened. But one of the things we're going to have to deal with as we go forward is we don't have any real magical expert in the group. Tower is the closest of it, and he was right in his assertion. So that's good on you, Tower. But we really could have used like a full-on wizard in the group, I think. But whatever, we got what we got, and we're going to go with it, and it will continually be a thorn in their side, I am sure. Nevertheless, everyone here gets 5 experience points for today, by the way.
All right.
Plus, Tower had gotten an additional one, so he got 6 altogether today. And of course, in the book, it explains exactly how to use the XP. I showed you guys where that was. You can apply it as you like. You can save them. You can do whatever you want with that to grow your character. But I think the average case file we'll see anywhere between 5 and 8 XP is pretty standard, I think. All awesome. Anybody have any questions?
No, I think we're good. I'm just enjoying the music and drinking alcohol and
My character orders a tea, hot, British style, and biscuit. Not the soft kind, but the hard kind that hurt your
The
teeth.
proper British ones, yeah.
British style. What is British
style.
style?
It's called a biscuit, not a cookie.
No, I mean the tea. He's just like, I want tea, British style. It's like you got to be a bit more specific there.
Well, I think
They
he's well.
just don't like
What they
tea
give
with
him
flavor.
here at Penelope's, he is drinking Prince Albert's taint. So
Wait. The tea bag, they put it on one of those little fucking birds.
yeah,
You know the little the pendulum birds? They just put the tea bag on its head, so it just tea bags the tea bag.
yeah.
They put a little British flag toothpick thing.
I think
Yeah,
my
yeah.
joke went right over his head. GOP. Oh well.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. But that's all right. Anyway, Franklin's is a nice place. Like I said, it's more free and open, whereas the Old Tale is corporate. I mean, it is department controlled and financed, right? But Franklin's is a lot of individuals in here. It's considered sanctuary ground here in Franklin's. You learn as you guys are hanging out in here, and there's people who would normally be enemies, and through your little chats through the night and stuff like that, that otherworldly oddness that's coming out of Penelope, you seems to be not a secret at all. It's because she is a vampire.
Oh,
Oh shit!
So what
I
that
uh,
means is
I buttoned up my leather coat.
So what that means is, when you come to those kind of creatures, it's really just an umbral display, right? Because you understand how magic works in this world. So those kind of things like vampires or werewolves or demons or whatever, what they are is they are either umbrally tethered like you, or in the case of the vampires, they are an organization that has long ago found a way to bring dead souls back into possession in a very ceremonial way. That is rather imperfect. And any logical modern person would be, why do you bother continue doing that when we have better ways of doing it? But tradition is tradition, because one of the limitations is to maintain that host, they have to consume quantities of blood, fresh blood. So that's where the vampire comes from. It's not actually a separate species. It's simply a possessed body with an umbral spirit, a veil spirit. So that's what Penelope is. So anyway, that'll be enough for today. Thank you all very much, and we'll see you next time. Later.
later.
Yee yee.